Hey, this is a professional environment. Hey! Stop it! Stop!
Another day up at the Waffle House, shit got hella poppin'. One lady started talking that shit like she really wanted problems. She said that the workers were working too slow. She needed the food cause she had to go. She got super angry and started to shout. So Wendy gave her a 3-piece on the house. Yeah. Go Wendy, I get why they mad, yeah. They just found out for Christmas all you be serving is both of them hands, yeah. Wendy, she ain't gonna back down, her homie just pulled a pen out, so your little plans ain't gon' pan out, bitch. John Cena with the smackdown. Why you think they got this type of application? In the store shit get launched like an application. If you're not with the shits like your name is Wendy, shit you're not really a fit, go apply it Wendy. Run up on Wendy, boy you better just surrender. Featherweight contender whipping up them chicken tenders. Mama loves the way she kept it cool with the aggressors. Even Iron Man is trying to bring her onto the event.
I'll admit it. I'm not letting my kids die. I'm somebody that thought I could fix this, and I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbor. I'm gonna haul him up by a chain. I will eat your ass. I'll do it. You think I like sizing up my neighbor? Good, gonna chop his ass up. My children aren't going hungry. I will eat your ass. I'll eat your ass. I'm literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I will eat your ass. Eat your ass. Eat your ass. My superpower is being honest, and I will eat your ass. I will eat your ass. Eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass. I will eat your ass. Eat your ass. I've extrapolated this out, and I will eat your ass.
I learned a lot, and I learned that I learned a lot. Anyway, Bo is associated here. Anyway, the point I want to make is I learned so much. I learned so much. I learned.
Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. What I have to do is I have to continue talking about the things. Come on, man.
I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker I saw. I learned that I got hairy legs that turned blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight and then watch the hair come back up again. So I learned about kids jumping on my lap, not kids jumping on my lap.
Oh, I'm in trouble. What are we, nuts? Dead. You know, come on, man. Give me a little break here. Get a life.
Taking cocaine or not? What do you think? Huh?
Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're from me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Come on, man.
The Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
I can hardly wait to meet with that guy who is the stable genius. Come on, man.
I am very willing to let the public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness.
Come on, man. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Wealthy kids.
Come on, man. I mean, come on. Take a look at the record.
I know a lot of weed smokers.
Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Why the hell would I take a test? I am,
And strike and strike and strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now.
about a motherfucking mukbang? We got a beef taco. Santa Fe, right?
Wake up. Wake up. It's propaganda. It's propaganda. It's an e-girl in military uniform. It's propaganda. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
This is a rule. You know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that, Hassan Piker. I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house. Or in the ring. No, in real life.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Who's Sailor Moon shirt? Why mine, of course. It's a little tight.
Oh, of course you watch Progression. You know skill, dumb YouTube commenter, idiot.
I'm taking all your spell zones. Every
Take them. I don't need them.
Go.
End of main, dumbass.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, nice deck.
Spent all match complaining and had the rock
the deck
in
is
hand.
bullshit.
Completely
it's bad.
saw through
it's
that
a bad
bluff,
deck,
by the
but
way.
it's still
Did
bullshit.
Hillary teach you
skill
that
issue.
one, you liar?
Open wide, kids, because I'm going to grape you in the mouth.
He's going to what them in the mouth?
He's going to grape them.
Can we please get this?
You don't even have a cat.
It's not for a cat.
What's it for?
It's me.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would. But I legally can't. But I've considered it.
I think we've all considered it at this point. Not their career. Their career in Minecraft, of course. Their career in Minecraft, of course. Jesus, guys, come on. I'm a class act. I would never, suggest anything nefarious or evil. But no, let's be real. Fucking Orion is disgusting. Okay, and look, I said when this stuff started early on. Okay, when I had only Orion's words on this. And I went back and I looked at the video from like 4 years ago. And this is before Kwite response or anything. I usually operate from a perspective of most people have a little bit of bad in them. But I had this idea that if there was any redeeming, any explanation for Orion doing this, and having it not just be completely 100% fucking malicious, is their mental health issues, specifically the memory issues combined with the bipolar disorder. To me, I could see a reality in which their broken fucking brain, pardon my French, guys, I got to be sensitive, but no, seriously, broken fucking brain is piecing things together that didn't happen. At least did not happen in that way. And that is leading them down this insane fucking path where nothing occurred, but because the outcome was negative, they have just completely splintered what happened. Everything is just a fucking mess upstairs. And because they put this claim forward and they were being validated by everyone around them, that just reinforces it for them. But, when Kwite responded, and Kwite's response was, I would say, perfect, because he over-explained things, right? There was things that was included in his video that he did not need to tell us for his side of the story to be completely, 100% true. He can just show the messages, right, that Orion was sending him. Their creepy behavior, them saying that they're going to rape him, them pushing sexual encounters on him continually, right? He could have just shown that to show that Orion isn't being honest. Instead, he goes into incredible detail in explaining why he was not physically capable he also explains his mental state with this shit. And here the most fucked up part of it is Orion knows all of this. Orion knows all of it about him. And remember in the video from 4 years ago by the Tusk person, I'll talk about him a little bit later.
Tuskspicious.
Yeah. In the video with Tuskspicious, fucking, I hate that name. I really do. But fuck it. Listen, in that video, their story, their entire story, they go into how on that night they felt good, but then about a few weeks later, Kwite was ignoring them, and they couldn't understand why. And they knew everything about him. They knew his phone number. They knew his parents' number. They knew all of his secrets. That to me, I was like, man, that's creepy. It's a little bit fucking weird to say that, right? Like you're canceling this guy, okay? You're canceling this guy. You're calling him like this terrible person. All these mean things that he's said to you, all the ways he's mistreated you, and then you're telling everybody that you have secrets about him. Like it's weird. It's weird. That to me was like, hey, Kwite, talk to me or I'm going to tell them. That's how it felt to me. So when Orion gets this apology out of Kwite 4 years ago, you know what? I think 100%. Like at that point, I was like, yeah, it wasn't sincere at all. You fucking pressured him. You fucking blackmailed him. You fucking psychopath. This person is actually fucking evil. Okay? And by the way, because I know that people are gonna like correct me on the fucking pronouns and everything. The most akin thing that I can describe this to as a man is like a psychotic girlfriend. Okay? A psychotic, emotionally manipulative girlfriend who is jealous and angry that you are not focusing on them, that you are not giving them attention, and they will do anything to get it. They will hurt you. They will hurt themselves to get your fucking attention. And let's be real, okay? That was what Orion was doing. Orion was threatening self-harm. Orion would go to Kwite, right? Put themselves down while talking about wanting to hurt themselves, and Kwite would start praising them. Kwite would start telling them how important they were. Dude, like I'm not even convinced that Orion, like, and I normally don't want to. I normally don't want to question stuff like that because, it's just it's a dark area and you really don't know what's going on in people's heads for the most part. Anyone can be going through that stuff, but with all the other things that they've done, with how manipulative they are, with how they are, like with how Orion is willing to fuck with people's emotions on shit like this. Yeah, I do think that they would fake self-harm and fake wanting to hurt themselves in order to get Kwite to pay attention to them. I'm not saying that they haven't done it to themselves before. I'm just saying things like, I'm going to end it all because you don't love me. Shit like that. Shit like that. And I know that there are dudes who have gone through that. And see, here's the other fucked up part about it. Kwite is, 17 fucking years old. Kwite's 17 years old as Orion is doing this to him. Bro, that's gotta fucking scar you. That has to fucking scar you. I'm not kidding. All right. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I absolutely feel bad for Kwite. I absolutely feel bad for Kwite. At 17 years old, you should not be dealing with this shit. This is fucking like, Jesus. Right. Gigi, tomorrow is your birthday, right?
No, today is.
Today is your birthday. Fuck. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. But like,
thanks.
For the both of us, right? Early 30s, right? Chris still in our primes and everything. But this dude's a fucking kid. He's a fucking kid dealing with this.
Exactly.
Orion is evil. Orion is 100% fucking evil. I believe that they knew exactly what they were doing. I think they knew exactly what strings they needed to pull to hurt Kwite the most. They knew about this intense sexual anxiety that he has, and they were okay to throw it in his face in those messages. So they accused him of rape. They accused him of rape when they know that he can't fucking perform. That's what a nasty little bitch. What a nasty little bitch.
It is very
Fucking
predatory
hell.
in my mind, because if you have all this information, you're using it as a weapon. Like, anything you can do to go against your victim, you're going to use it. That's predatory behavior. Like, what Orion was offering on the outset could look as an innocent gesture, like, oh, I was going to pay for this stuff for you. Whereas Kwite is very resistant against it, where he wants to feel like, oh, I've earned my own money, I want to spend it. However, anyone who's been in an abusive relationship will tell you control of the finances is that of an abuser.
Oh, well, look, I'm not. The thing is, the stuff that he describes in that video, because, you know, and here's the thing. I hated how those little fuckers were going, oh, I can sympathize with what Orion said. It's so believable. Fuck you, people. Okay? If you ever start saying that shit again with something so blatantly fucking obvious, then no shit, I wouldn't blame anyone for side-eyeing you. Because holy fuck, enough is fucking enough. You want situations to be taken seriously. This is not how you do it. This is not how you fucking do it.
Yeah, you don't treat a random claim as if it's 100% believable. If you're going to do that, then someone claiming that the tooth fairy is real is also believable.
I'm just like...
And if that's going to be the case, someone should knock your teeth out. That way you can put it under the pillow and become rich.
Wait, who's that one fucking idiot? Jalen, right? Fucking Jalen. Okay? I gotta find that fucking tweet. Fucking Diorio, he posted it. Because it's got fucking Jalen's fucking bullshit. I fucking, god damn it, fucking already pissed off and I have to look something up. God, fuck. Okay, okay, can you describe to people who fucking this fucking person is?
Okay.
Please.
Jalen is a commentary YouTuber who was once a man, is now a woman. They have been caught up in many controversies. They've told people to kill themselves. They've also said racial epithets, and then they try
they wanted to
moral
genocide all the Christians too.
Oh yeah, they tried a moral grandstand on all these subjects, even though they've got a track record, you know, a mile fucking long. And this is just adding on to the pile.
I just like, okay, this was Jalen when this shit happened. And look, I'm going to say something, okay? To the people who legitimately did not open their fucking mouths, right? And literally waited on the side because they did not know what was going on. They really did just want to wait for Kwite to say something so they could figure it out. I don't like, I'm not going to disparage you. If you're not certain about something, or if you really have too many questions and you don't want to make any sort of definitive statement, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? If you openly want to question things, nothing wrong with that. Okay? It's okay to be skeptical. But, motherfucker, okay? If you hardcore fell for Orion's bullshit, right? Really went after Kwite and branded him as a fucking rapist when we now know, okay? We now know that Kwite apparently, and Orion knows these details as well, is a victim of being sexually assaulted, not just once, but twice. Which apparently Orion knows this. Can't even fucking perform sexually with other people, because of the trauma he's experienced there. Okay, and I apologize. I know I use very blunt language here. Okay, I understand, but you know it's what you're gonna get with me. The name is Wholesome Crow. Okay, it's like it's like when they say things are fat free, right? Okay. Anyways, is that a good analogy?
Hit or miss.
Yeah. Fuck it. Okay, listen. You have Kwite, who is an actual victim here, okay, who has actually been victimized, who has actually been the victim of a predator on 2 occasions, and then you have this person dox him, okay, spread his face around everywhere, along with all these other bastards who were supporting fucking Orion here, like blasting his face out there to everyone, calling him a rapist. Fuck you people, right? At least then say, hey, I got it wrong. I fucked up. I shouldn't have fucking done any of that shit. I'm gonna think twice and not do it again. But is that what's going on with this fucker? No. Absolutely not. Because you know that would be the appropriate thing to do when you go and brand somebody who's been victimized as a fucking rapist. While his face is being blasted everywhere. Everyone, hi, this is Kwite, everybody. He's a rapist. And you're just like, and you're blasting out, guys. I mean, this looks really true, everybody. Everybody. This looks like a really serious. I mean, this is really believable. It's really believable. And you know what? I admit, it's on the Muppets in your fucking audience to verify, because you are clearly too fucking stupid to be listened to. Holy shit! Like, honestly. It's just like the sheer fucking stupidity. Anyways, look, this was their original take. And you know, if you legitimately got fooled, fucking goddamn, you're dumb. Okay? But stupid people exist. And there's, and man, I know you think I'm being mean. I know you think I'm being very mean. But don't get me wrong. I'm kind of dumb on certain things too. All right? I am. Everybody, not everyone's like the sharpest in every fucking, not everybody has like plus 10 skills in every fucking category. Okay? But in this situation, if you got duped by this, you're a fucking idiot. Okay? You're clearly, you don't like, or you're too fucking emotional to actually think critically. In either scenario, this should tell you that you are not prepared to talk about this shit. This should explain to you on every fucking level why you are a fucking idiot. The fucking excuse, I'd rather side with the potential liar than a potential rapist. You know what? You sided with an actual abuser. You fucking corn-headed, brain-rotted minions. Because that's what you are. You're the minions of this fucking Orion bitch. Good fucking job.
There's also a notable character in this story that's been basically trying to backtrack everything that they've done.
Fucking Bung.
No, not Bung. Not Bung.
Sorry,
a lesser known individual by the name of Sully J, who went into Orion's DMs and was basically leading the witness on a lot of questions, basically trying to get them to add more context to their story. And he was pushing this narrative like no other, to the point where he's now having to walk back. He's deleted his videos, he's privated them, to the point where he's trying to, hide and run from any of this, saying that, he was in the middle. He wasn't taking a side. He was believing the victim because that's the right thing to do. All the typical fucking excuses that you could think of that would come from a situation like this. And now he has the fucking gall to ask for, what's the word? He wants to be, forgiven. He's wanting forgiveness for his part in this, even though
here's my thing, okay? Because I'm going to say it for a few people in this situation. If immediately when Kwite responded and they immediately got it, okay, I can understand that. But like, man, you've got to admit that you completely fucked up, okay? And if you're going to talk about shit like this, you got to admit that you're just not prepared to do it, all right? And there's no shame in that. I know like people think that there is, but there really isn't. Some people are just way too fucking emotional and talk about this shit. I know people think like I'm emotional. Like I get kind of passionate about certain things, okay, that I do talk about, and I have this like absolute disgust with this idea that it's better to side potentially with a liar because siding with potentially an abuser. No. Look at what you did. Look at what you fuckers did. All right. Kwite is an actual victim here. Okay. And at the very least, that's what Orion thinks too. Orion thinks that about Kwite as well. So you had
degree.
Well, I mean, they've talked about it. Okay. They know about his sexual anxiety because of that trauma. But you guys went after a man, okay, a young man who at 17 years old was being abused, okay? And I'm not saying abuse in like a criminal sense, all right? It is psychological abuse. As far as I'm concerned, the shit that she was doing to him, or he was doing to him, I'm not gonna get the pronouns right, dude. I'm really fucking high right now, okay? Like, fuck off. But you like the shit that Orion was doing to Kwite is absolutely abusive. Okay, to me at least. Look at what they were saying, right? They would go to him. What do they call it? Trauma dumping. Okay, talking about how they want to hurt themselves. They called themselves a dumb dyke, and Kwite has to step in and go, "No, you're not. No, you're not. No, I care about you. I'm not going to leave you. No, I'm going to be here for you." And on the inside, Kwite is this 17-year-old who is screaming, "Get the fuck away from me!" And if he says it to her, if he says it to Orion, I'm just going to say the name. If he says it to Orion, Orion has already hinted that they are going to fucking hurt themselves. And guess whose fault it's going to be? It's going to be Kwite's fault. That's what this little fucking psychopath was doing to him.
Yeah, I mean, this is a textbook catch-22 situation. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
There's nothing. There's literally nothing that Kwite can do in that situation in which he will not feel responsible for what happens next. How? And he's already said he's not going to leave them. And if he leaves them, then they're going to fucking spiral. And he's talking them now because they're fucking spiraling. Look at the meeting that he says that they had. The father was there chaperoning them the entire fucking time.
Yet somehow missed the rape.
Well, I mean, like, obviously that didn't happen. My point is, Orion brought Kwite along to fucking taunt her father, right? This father that she's told Kwite is abusive, is mean, is nasty, and hates her.
Still no evidence of that.
My point is, though, right? Like, honestly, maybe he is, maybe he is, and I have no idea about the dad. But what I can say is, it's very reasonable to me, given what Orion will do to get somebody's attention, that Orion, in order to taunt and piss off Daddy, would sit there and place a guy right in front of Daddy and go, we're cuddling. Yeah, I think that Orion is that type of person. Maybe people will disagree with me. I don't fucking care, right? But to me, that's what this nasty, terrible, evil, awful, disgusting, god-awful, dog shit parasite of a psychotic, abusive, mean, nasty, gremlin little bitch.
I mean, the best way how to explain Orion is that they were both a user and an abuser. At the end of the day, what they did to Kwite, according to Kwite, because, I mean, I'm not really going to question what he has to say because he went above and beyond with providing intricate details like him being a virgin. Hell, I didn't even know he was gay. Yet, Orion at the beginning of this, after the tweet longer was put out, was taunting him, saying, "Oh yeah, Kwite, you had sex with a man, or you raped a man," or whatever the fuck they said. Because apparently they just felt the need to twist the knife deeper for whatever reason.
Because they want to hurt Kwite, because Kwite rejected them. Kwite rejected them and they want to hurt him. They tried doing it 4 years ago. It didn't work. And they want to hurt him. They want him to hurt because you know what? On the inside, Orion is hurting. Orion feels deep and terrible pain. Orion probably hates themselves and really does latch on to people and demand their attention to make them feel whole and complete. And I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. That's not on anyone fucking else. You know what you do? Actually go to fucking therapy. Don't fake a fucking medical document, you psychotic little witch.
Yeah, like you said, at first it wasn't criminal. Now it's getting into the criminal realm because that's like a 5-year charge, faking a medical document.
Forcing him to face reveal. You know what? I'm going to do a video. Hold on. Give me a sec. Sorry, guys. My fucking heat is running. It's freezing cold here. Okay. I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to compare this situation to two other situations on two levels, okay? The first one is going to be what happened with Pyrocynical, all right? Because in the Pyrocynical situation, his accuser actually had messages. They were actually engaged in adult erotic role play over DMs, all right? There was just more nuance to what was going on there, and there, like, it was not very clear if Pyro actually knew that the person he was communicating with at the time was 15. That's what happened. It's been done. It's been settled. That we're not getting back into that shit. I don't want to fucking do it. It was done on the other channel. Go check out Crows of Judgment. If you want what happened there, we had plenty of views, plenty of videos, and fucking just, I don't want to get into it again. But I will do a comparison to this because in that situation, like, that person actually had shit. Okay. There was actually stuff that did occur between them. All right. Now, it's pretty clear Ivory was being like pushed to do it by other people, right? Like if you listen to him, dude sounded kind of drugged when he was talking about stuff. Like, just God, I'm not gonna do it again. I'm about to like go into a fucking nosedive on something. But listen, I want to compare it to that because in this situation, you had absolutely virtually fucking nothing. Okay, absolutely virtually fucking nothing. And the reason why I had Jalen's messages up here, just to loop it back on to Jalen for the finish. Jalen talked about the video from 4 years ago, right? A small commentary channel made a video on it back in the day. This just adds more credibility to their story. Motherfucking Jalen saw this video end of February. Watched the fucking video end of February and didn't notice in the video how Orion's story was completely fucking different from that fucking night. In fact, Orion never even talks about having sex. Which, again, you can say, hey, that's because they were raped. They didn't know how to feel about it. Whatever. They literally say in that video that night made him feel good. So like, look, on any level, that would make you question things, right? But Jalen didn't their brain. Broken fucking brain. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? How'd you fuck that one up? And look, Bung, he's the weird kid who ripped off his shirt and started flexing on camera while he was talking to Sen. Fucking a little gay, if you want me to be completely honest, okay? But anyways, he's like, no, actually, that's not how claims work. Yeah, fucking Christ. How did Jalen watch that fucking video? Dumb bitch. Dumb fucking goddamn. Yes, that would be okay. I mean, so far events are lining up in a way that proves Orion has something here. How? Oh my god! And oh god, I'm gonna throw out my fucking voice. By the way, guys, I would like to let you know that potentially there's about to be like this major banking collapse. All right. And channel is monetized. We're accepting super chats. We will be reading all those comments that you leave us. But, you know, like, if I throw out my fucking voice tonight, god damn.
Crow, I'm more concerned that you're going to throw out my freaking internet because you've been roboting on my end every time you do that.
Okay. All right. Listen. They go something here, and that they are at the very least are not lying. How did you watch that video? See their story completely fucking changed, then go, clearly there's no lies here. There's no lies here. Crow, who would you rather kill? I'm not answering that fucking question because I will get fucking terminated from the platform. That is not appropriate. Comically methodical person. I do not condone questions of who would I rather kill. Who would I rather unalive would be more appropriate. Okay?
Well,
and to be completely
we'll
honest,
it like this.
Hassan Piker is more fun to make fun of.
We'll just put it like this. If Yellowstone does erupt, it'll deal with both of them.
Oh God, I sacrificed 7 sheeps today in the hopes that fucking finally Yellowstone would depopulate the planet.
But to go back to the whole pyrocynical situation, this is something that actually
yes, quite power, everybody. Quite power to Yellowstone. God damn. Dude, yeah, I got like somebody. Remember when we fucking did that shit? Right?
Yeah,
like spread that
Quite lives
around.
matter, quite power.
Like and so I like the fucking tweets because I'm like tagged in all of them, right? And like someone's like, "That's a lot of Nazi memes you've been liking, bro." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, you're right." Fucking because I made the fucking memes, bitch. Oh God.
But what, as I was saying, is that Orion or Ivory came back into the story here, like within the first few days of this breaking, and was really pissed that more people were believing Orion than themselves, given how they felt wronged by Pyro. Now, I'm not saying what Ivory did afterwards was justified, but this is what happens when you believe a false victim, because Ivory posted a picture of themselves in the back of an ambulance saying that, hey, I'll be back in a few days, after they were sending out tweets saying that they were going to off themselves. Just saying, there's going to be a lot of collateral damage if you believe all victims, especially the fucking liars.
Listen, Ivory's story is way more complicated, all right? It's way more complicated than anything that went on with this, okay? Orion literally had nothing. Literally had absolutely fucking nothing. And you had people just immediately side with them. You had this Jalen idiot who, you know, listen, let's just be honest. I don't know who takes Jalen seriously. I really don't, okay? At least in the commentary space, because anytime Jalen is talked about literally fucking anything, all right? Like, they have made themselves the center of attention on so many fucking occasions. And it's over, like, just the most heinous of fucking behavior, right? Jaden? I don't know. I know, like, there was this, like, crazy thing. Okay, there was a time where Jalen had the channel and also had the channel Jaden. And Jaden started accusing the Jalen channel of stealing content. Dude, it was the weirdest fucking thing I had ever fucking seen. Okay? Like, when that whole thing came together, I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Or maybe I'm just, like, fucking misremembering everything. Anyways, like, what's more important here is anytime they've been involved in drama, it's like they've wanted to, like, kill all Christians because Christians hate trans people and they all need to die. Every religious person needs to die. Like, man, it was some like nasty shit. And then they take a break and it's like, oh, you know, I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, I'm based. Here's like a semi-based take, everybody. And then they go and do something psychotic again, right? This shit isn't any of that. This is just like, oh, I'm going to side with the accuser because, you know, that just works out better for me. Like there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing in that video that you could watch and say is consistent with their story today. Period. Fuck all, period. I can't stand when people just blatantly fucking lie and completely get away with it. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody ever gives a fucking shit. Anyways, what's their fucking Twitter name? Nayas Poutine. Fucking Canadian motherfucker.
Yeah, you got it right.
So anyways, like when it comes to people like Jalen, I put them in their own fucking category of just dipshit fucking stupid. And the fact that anyone still watches them, listens to them, or thinks that in any fucking way, this is a person who has any semblance in what is fucking real is just nuts to me. They are consistently fucking wrong. Anytime they open their fucking mouth, it's literally just content for somebody else in fucking commentary to fucking call out and make fun of. And then anyone who still watches this fucking idiot shows up and goes, guys, stop bullying them. It's like I honestly, you know, on some level, I can't remember who said this, all right? Or what meme this fucking came from, but on some level, I think it's completely 100% fucking factual when I look at fucking Jalen. I think that they have a sexual fetish and they just get off on people making fun of them. I can't look at it in any other fucking way. Because like at a certain point, that's all that fucking happens. Right? I get the definition of insanity is you just do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And look, on some level, yeah, I can understand insanity sometimes is maybe the answer. But you know, honestly, maybe it is just a sexual fetish. Maybe this person just jacks the fuck off, right? To you making fun of them. And you know what? On many levels, I admit, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable to be involved in someone else's sexual fucking fantasies. It really does. It really fucking does. I think we should all be a little bit fucking grossed out by this Jalen person. And I think that we should keep our distance from people like them. They love to be wrong. They love to be roasted, to be made fun of. It's god damn, dude. It's humiliation. Okay? It's a fetish. They get off on it. It's fucking disgusting. Okay? It is. All right? Because look, what they're doing, they like hype up these idiots around them. Like to justify their stupid fucking mentally deficient crusade against another human being. They get off on it. And their little fucking followers, they're getting off on going after people. So it's like the worst fucking combination possible. These jackasses know that they're just going to come across looking like fucking mentally broken bitches. But their followers are going to look at it and go like, they're my fucking human fucking meat shield. So I can go destroy someone's life. Fuck what the fuck? Honestly, where does it fucking come from? Where do these people come from? What fucking world were they raised in? Because the thing is, I understand now that for the most part, it is kids. Okay, it's kids, it's teens, it's young adults, it's people below fucking 20. A lot of them born on fucking social media. They crave this shit. They get off on this stuff. It gives them a fucking dopamine rush to go after people, to cause harm. And the thing is, they justify it to themselves. Look, there's two ways I can look at it, right? There's two ways I can look at whatever the fuck is going on with these people. One way is they want to fight the battle, all right? They want to fight the battle. They want to go down. They want to be important. They want to do good. They want to be seen as virtuous. And so they get involved in this shit and they get showered with this praise whenever they make a statement, right? We call it like virtue signaling, okay? And I know that term gets overused, but on some level, yes, I do think there is like some level to it. They like the attention that they get from saying and doing these things. And so when they get showered like that, it encourages them to do more. So if they're being showered and praised by the group, they're being included by the group to go after someone, right? To destroy their fucking lives, to ruin their fucking reputation. Well, I don't give a shit. And look, if they get proven wrong later, well, so what? Everybody else was doing it. It's not like everybody's going to get fucking called out, are they? Right? That's the power of being with the mob. Because at the end of the day, even when the mob realizes that, holy fucking shit, we're basically all sociopaths. Well, yeah. But everybody's a fucking sociopath. So we're going to be safe either way. If we're right, well, we got all this clout and attention for destroying somebody. If we're wrong, well, everybody else is wrong. We'll just blame the most popular people. I mean, they'll take all the attention away, and we'll just go on and do it to somebody else. Mazel tov, bitches! Like, holy shit! Nobody learns a fucking lesson.
I mean,
and we wait for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, half this stuff is just mob mentality at the end of the day, and you can look at prime examples of this being Antifa and any other fucking group who just wants to destroy something or someone.
You know what's really fucked up? Orion lied on such stupid fucking shit, okay? When I say stupid fucking shit, I mean absolutely mentally fucking broken, stupid fucking batshit, insane, crazy ass. Why the fuck would you even risk this fucking shit? All the fucking messages have been deleted. He burned his fucking account. Did Orion just expect that to happen? And here's the thing, because the way Kwite describes themselves, I could actually see a reality in which Orion believes, in which I think is reasonable to think, that Kwite would not be able to handle all of the pressure from this confrontation and would just fold, would just retreat, would just beg for forgiveness, and that would be it. I think on some level maybe that's what they were expecting to happen here, because they said like, oh, he's deleted the fucking messages, so he makes a fucking Google Drive and he posts every single fucking message. Every single fucking message. Doesn't matter if it's fucking relevant or not. Post every single one. Meanwhile, Orion is telling everybody he doesn't have anything. He's deleted everything. He's hiding everybody. He's hiding because he knows he's guilty. He's on the run. We got him on the run. We're keep going, keep burning, keep going after him. How many fucking? You know what? Here's the fun thing. I was looking up Nias Poutine, fucking Canadian motherfucker, their fucking Twitter account, and this is where we're at. Okay, this is where we're at, guys. I want you to treat this as a charity drive of sorts, okay? I want you to treat this as a charity drive of sorts, all right? This is Nias Poutine Orion, the false accuser of Kwite. And as you can see here, they are deleting tweets. They've been deleting tweets since the beginning of March. -3, -16, -4, +3, -1, -2, -1, +19 on Thursday. Huh. -5, -9, -14, -2, well-being on protected status. I heard that they were taken off the protected status. Don't really know, don't really care. But I think they wisened up and started going through their Twitter account, trying to get rid of certain tweets that would be, problematic for them to explain.
Well, Crow, there is
yeah.
another situation. Apparently, someone had reported their tweets and their account got locked. So they had to delete some to get it back.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
So that could account for a handful of these, just saying.
Well, it's been going on for a while, though. And that's what I mean. Like, this is not because they just got locked out. But that is hilarious. That is hilarious. I admit, that is hilarious. Okay. But what I also want to show you guys is Kwite's YouTube channel. And what is it? Kwite with like 3 E's, I think. Yeah, there we go. This is basically everybody that left him came right back. Look at this shit. Look at these shameless motherfuckers, okay? He lost. When I looked at this situation, and I want to say maybe it was like 5 days ago, okay? I think it was about 5 days ago. Maybe I'm plus or minus by a day there. He had lost about 60,000 subscribers, okay? When he posted his response, +20, +40, +20. And when he lost, came right back. Fucking Christ, man. What am I? And you know what? I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. But like, what shameless fair weather motherfuckers you people are. What fickle little bitches you people be.
At the end of the day, Crow, it's a numbers game to them. And even then, it's just a game.
I admit. And the thing is, because they didn't know the stuff about Kwite, they thought that they were safe to just go after him. And now they feel bad. Now they feel terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch Kwite like a year or two ago. And I just stopped, but I never expected that this kind of shit would actually happen to him.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's what happens when you have terrible, miserable, evil, fucking psychopathic little monsters like Orion.
Yeah.
Anyways, John, how you doing, buddy?
What's up,
Hey, how's it going, guys? What's going on, GG? How you doing, bud?
Not much.
All right, guys, everybody who's here, John is a special fan to the channel. Can I tell people about the thing that happened for you that's like amazing and beautiful, like happened like some months back?
No. Let's keep that private.
Okay, sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. But no, I just
he got a car.
Yeah, that. I just want to pop in for a bit. I won't be able to stay long, but I've been seeing some of the. I didn't follow this too closely outside of the the videos and stuff that you put out, and kind of loosely just hearing about it here and there. I did see the response video. I actually listened to it twice. It's interesting stuff. Just got to say, yeah. This is why you don't take shit to the internet. Especially if you're obviously this person's not a real victim of anything outside of their own fucking stupidity, but yeah, this is why people shouldn't just believe facts and substantiated evidence. That's what you need to believe. Don't believe men, don't believe women, believe facts and substantiated evidence.
Hey John, I got a quick question for you.
What's up?
What does this whole situation remind you of?
Well, it reminds me of
a person.
This particular situation. Who is it comparable to?
Well, not just this particular situation, but just in general, this kind of event happening. and being pushed.
Oh, the false accusation shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, God, man, it's happened so many times. I mean, with so many different people. I mean, obviously it happened with Pro Jared. It happened with Louis Caliber. It's happened with Pyro Cynical. What?
I'm talking about a specific person who would push this kind of shit for years on.
Wait, shut up. Wait, guys, shut up. I just remembered something. Holy fuck. Earlier in the stream, I had said something about how this situation was like two situations, and I was going to do a video about it, okay? And I was saying how the first situation was like the Power Cynical and Ivory thing. And then I completely blanked and spaced on the second one. All right. The second situation is Mewtwo King. Okay. Mewtwo King was accused of fucking raping somebody.
Yes.
And Mewtwo King had to come forward and admit to, like, as a baby, when he was circumcised, something tragic happened and he is not physically capable of it. Right?
He's not physically capable of getting it up like a normal person. Yes.
These people are so nasty and disgusting, and they're doing these fucking claims, and they're just hurling them out at people like without a fucking care in the world. And then, in order to prove this couldn't have even physically fucking happened, even when these people have no fucking evidence to back up any of their fucking claims, right? They then force these people to come out and admit incredibly personal details that, of course, will be thrown in their face later. And don't pretend for a fucking second some fucking people aren't going to throw this shit in Kwite's face in a couple of years when he gets thrown into some other controversy or he has a bad fucking take. For fuck all certain, someone's going to throw that shit that he admitted to back in his fucking face.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. Did you actually ever watch that confession video from him?
Wait, from who? Mewtwo King?
Yeah, dude, I saw that. That was fucking sad.
Dude, it is sad. Yeah. It is sad.
And the thing is,
it's somebody like it's beyond fucking.
It's humiliating.
Mean.
Yeah,
not to mention it's humiliating.
It's humiliating. Mental issues too.
Well, look, you're talking about a guy who, I mean, look, and that's the thing. And people could say like, well, maybe Mewtwo King is lying. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. But look at Mewtwo King. I mean that might seem kind of harsh, but fucking look at him. I mean, you really think he's lying about that? I mean, I don't think he's lying about it.
No.
You know?
For a second. Because at least was.
I mean, it's possible. It's entirely possible. Now, it's always within the realm of possibility that he could be lying. But then again, at what cost would you tell a lie like that? It's just like knowing that people are going to fucking use it against you. You know what I mean? And you're a guy in the community, in the Smash community, that already gets regularly made fun of as it is. Now, before he even revealed that, you know what I mean? He was a guy that already got made fun of as it was. So why would you add to that, right? You're a person that on the regular gets made fun of constantly. Go ahead and admit to the fact that, oh, by the way, my dick doesn't work like a normal person's dick. You know what I mean? That's extremely embarrassing.
That's
you know what I mean?
No one
giving
would
somebody
need to admit that.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, knowing that people are going to use it against you too. Here's
the thing. In the Mewtwo King situation, the thing is, Mewtwo King was playing the Smash community. He was like a really great player, and people just like
one of the best. Yeah.
I mean, he's still one of the best.
No, what I mean is,
he used to be.
What I mean is, when this happened, like Mewtwo King was really, really fucking good. Okay, and he was also kind of fucking hated by certain people.
He had fallen for a little bit, but still, he was still notable in the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He still is to this day. I mean, he still is not as much as he used to be. I think his glory days are a little behind him, but he's still notable.
He's still a top player.
But
he's still notable in the community.
He has to come out and admit this stuff. And the person that made this false accusation against him, they didn't know any of this stuff about him, right? This was just I wanted him to fucking suffer. I wanted all the fucking clout. I want everyone to fucking shower me with praise, and I want him to fucking hurt. And you know what? They succeeded. He had to reveal something incredibly personal about himself that will be thrown in his face later. And that's awful. Like that's honestly awful. It's honestly fucking terrible, right?
Especially with the Smash community. Oof.
Well, yeah, no, like those people are fucking like, oh god,
they're
fucking
awful.
nasty. But in this situation, Orion knew. Orion knew this, and if he was going to come out and defend himself, like, come on, like I don't like this person goes like, oh, I have these memory issues. He was, I don't even know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really know if I believe that. I think they knew everything that they were doing. I think that a lot of this was carefully fucking planned out. I think that they planned to either fucking win and bury him in the ground or get him to fucking kneel and grovel and apologize, or at the very, 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 very fucking least, they wanted him to hurt.
Yeah, John.
Is that why you're talking about Mewtwo King here? Sorry.
Oh, I muted because of the background thing when I was talking. Sorry.
Go ahead, GG.
I was going to say the answer I was looking for was Ohm Wrecker.
Oh.
Because a lot of what Orion did here is similar to Ohm Wrecker.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's not fair. Ohm Wrecker's going to sue you.
Motivation. I'm
specifically you.
I know. Boo hoo. He already thinks I'm a super hacker, Crow, that crashed his computer. Fuck him.
Motivation wise, but here's the thing, at least in Ohm's defense, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but at least in Ohm's defense, he had something to show for something, right? Even if it's flimsy at best, right? He had something to show that could at least
defending Ohm is what he's saying.
Defending Ohm.
I'm defending Ohm. Yeah. I'm sure he'll see this. He'll be like, "Thanks for defending me." No, but
he might. It's a fucking
No, but in fairness to even him, at least here's the thing: even if his receipts were garbage, I mean, at least he had something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least he had something.
Like the sum
he
that
had
Orion
more than
did have.
Orion.
Yeah,
like the receipts that Orion was willing to put out there were nothing.
I mean, they were worse, but I mean, but again, exactly. It was take my word for it. It's like, look, this happened. I can't really back it up, but just
basically, it just
take
seemed
my word
less
for it.
credible. That's basically
There were two fucked up things with what we now know about Orion's evidence against him. Okay, the first thing is that they claimed that Kwite had called them a dumb. It's not 2 hours in, so I don't think I can say the slur, but the slur for lesbians begins with D and ends with Ike. I think that will get me past the sentence.
You should just say something that a boy sticks his finger into.
What?
What? About that old fairy.
Listen, no, we're not doing this. We're moving on. Okay, so listen. So Orion accused Kwite of saying that about them, saying deeply hurtful and transphobic things to them, right? And then Kwite reveals the messages where no, Orion was saying that about themselves, and Kwite was telling them it wasn't true. The complete fucking opposite. Okay, the complete fucking opposite. They used messages to show, oh look, these are sexual conversations that Kwite is having with me, and then he rapes me. And then Orion, right, telling us that the deleted messages don't exist, doesn't expect Kwite to come out with all of them, because I don't know why. I really don't know fucking why you wouldn't. But he comes out with all of these fucking messages and shows Orion is constantly pushing the sexual conversations onto him. Orion is the one coming to him with all the fucking, I'm going to hurt myself fucking shit. It's constantly coming from Orion. It's never coming from Kwite. Everything that Orion accused Kwite of, Orion was doing to Kwite.
I was going to say, Crow, their first excuse as to why they didn't have all the evidence is because their original Discord account where these messages took place was deleted.
It's a fucking lying motherfucker.
And that's the thing. Like, if it was deleted, how does that PFP show up of Orion's Constellation account, because this is something that a lot of people don't know. When there's a deleted account, it shows as the regular Discord logo. So unless if Kwite somehow had these all screenshot prepared like years in advance, that account is still active or is still around. It isn't deleted. That's another lie Orion told.
I said I wasn't going to read chats that weren't super chats, but this one was too funny. Orion has a ruin people's life kink. Dude, Orion is obsessed with Kwite, okay? Orion is legitimately obsessed with Kwite. And potentially, I think some of that is because Kwite became, like, so popular. He has a channel that, 1 million subscribers plus. And Orion wants attention, right? And Orion really wants Kwite's attention, but I think that they legitimately want to be famous too, or popular. They want people to shower and praise them. We need Orion jokes.
Don't worry, they're coming. I got an edit that Crow's gonna play for all of you.
Wait. Also, Gigi, can you find us some Orion memes?
Yeah, I got one I could send real quick.
Perfect. But no, I think that they are obsessed with Kwite. They tried this shit 4 years ago. Okay, and this is the weird thing. All right, Kwite kind of proved that they didn't know each other for as long. Like the time frame that Orion was giving for everything just wasn't accurate. But basically, in February, they went to go see Black Panther. It was September, October when this video came out from Tusk. So the video comes out from Tusk, and fucking this Lord Bung, this lying little, god damn it, I gotta talk about these side characters now. It's a fucking manga. It's Rate Me the manga. Okay, and we're at the final fucking arc, and all the side characters need to get fucking punted back to fucking hell.
I mean, when you put it that way, it sounds accurate.
Right? Fucking Christ, motherfuckers. Fuck these people. God damn it. I got all these tweets out of fucking order. Okay, so let me go to the first one here. I should not have pulled up all this extra side stuff. Okay, I want to talk about this Tusk person first. Okay, Anthony Tusk. This person is I don't know how to say this, right? They said, I spent the last 4 hours deleting YouTube comments telling me to kill myself. How's your Sunday going? They got 1 like on this tweet, and I honestly feel just awful for them, and 26 fucking comments. Well, he ratioed a guy saying that people were telling him to kill himself. You guys are fucking ruthless. I love you. Quite power to everybody. But like, honestly, and he even said it's the most neutral and fair statement he's received. I said, like, it was thanks to Tusk's video that we saw Orion tried this before, and we could cite their inconsistencies. I also said Tusk uploaded the vid 4 years ago, so he was not involved in calling Kwite a rapist. He did not do that. In fact, I honestly, maybe he was talking about it. His name I never saw coming up in the conversations. I never saw people blasting out tweets where he's just like going after Kwite. Maybe he was doing it. I didn't see it. But he did try to capitalize on drama. He changed the title of his video during this entire thing to include transphobic. Okay? Beforehand, that was never brought up. That was never a claim. It was just about how Kwite, basically hooked up with them. Not even sex. They never even say sex, but basically like hung out with them, had a couple dates with them, and then just basically blew them off and told them off like they were garbage. That was it. But he tried to capitalize on Orion coming back now and put the transphobic thing so his video would boost in the algorithm and he would gain views and maybe some more subscribers for his channel, right? Blew up in his fucking face, okay? Blew up in his fucking face, you little fucking bastard, okay? blew up in your fucking face, and you fucking deserve it. But he did not. He was not pushing the rape claims. He wasn't doing that. He did not try to push, abusive. Like he didn't try to do anything of like that. All right, that is the only thing that I will say in defense of the Tusk person. I don't think you should tell this person to kill themselves. I mean, like, come on, guys, come on. I know we're gonna go through some Orion memes and everything, but again, telling people to kill themselves, knock it off, knock it the fuck off. All right, because listen,
y'all are not low tier gods, so stop.
No, I'm just gonna say it like
this. Who are we not supposed to tell to kill themselves?
Like these people in this fucking community, these weebo mental health, we're all suffering from 15 different mental ailments. Like, don't tell any of these people to kill themselves. Like, one of them's gonna fucking do it, and you will feel fucking awful.
Just
you
say
will legitimately feel fucking terrible.
Just say the herd.
You can't control what people do. I get it, but like, man, you tell someone to kill themselves and then they do it. I'm not saying that you're responsible, even if that happens, but you will feel it. You will feel fucking guilty, and it is going to be a terrible and dark and depressing fucking feeling. It's just not worth it. You can say other nasty and mean-spirited things. Listen, I honestly don't give a shit. Okay, I really don't. Some people, I do think that, a slap across the face might do them some good. I'm not talking about physical violence. I just mean, like, when they're going off and they're being nasty, sometimes just confronting them is good enough. So, and when I say confronting them, I mean, like, give it back to them. The way that they're trying to hurt somebody else, share the pain. At a certain point, that's the only way that they'll it's like the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. Look, the flip side of that is, man, if you don't want to be kicked in the fucking dick, don't kick other people in the fucking dick. It's pretty fucking simple. If you want to be treated with fucking respect, you have to treat other people with fucking respect. It's that fucking simple. If you can't do those things, then other people aren't going to do those things for you. If you're going to treat other people like garbage, you shall also be treated like a filthy, fucking, dirty, little peasant, bitch, ass, dirt, fucking, fucker, fuck. That's it. That's how the fucking world works. It's not religion. However, a fucking religion you want. Don't have a religion if you don't want it. I share the love of Allah, but honestly, fuck you people.
Okay, as for the memes, Crow, there's one in private chat and there's one in the Discord group chat.
Okay, we can go to the next side character later, where we're having we're doing a filler arc, guys. It's the meme saga. It's the meme saga, everybody. And when we share meme saga, there's only one clip that works.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would. But I legally can't. But I've considered it.
Okay, everybody, meme saga, filler arc. All right, it starts with Gigi Evan posting a meme. Delete tweets falsely accusing someone of rape. Keep tweets up of the person you falsely accused. Motherfucker, like, if you're going to start deleting tweets, maybe delete the fucking false accusations. I know Orion is going to come out with a response. I do. I don't know why anybody would be fucking willing to believe them. I cannot figure that out at all. Oh, fuck. Hey, wait, before I can play the thing, one of you guys needs to distract the audience for like 4 minutes. Frankie is by the door and he looks like he needs to shit.
Okie dokie.
You're in charge, Gigi. John, I'm unmuting you.
Okay,
no, I muted him. I muted him because the fucking because the background noise when I was talking and I was going on a long-winded rant for a little bit. and then I forgot to do the thing to unmute, and then I was like, oh shit, does he not realize he's muted? And I think he didn't realize. Anyways, I'm gonna be right back.
I was packing something. That's probably what you heard.
All right, GG, it's time to carry the stream.
Okay, so the whole thing is that I want to talk about now is the fucking orbiters around this whole entire nonsense.
Wait, let me put an image up on the screen for you guys. Hold on.
Thank you, Latchkey.
Latchkey Goth Boy for $5. Happy birthday, GG. Since Crow's gonna go away, I'll just read it for you here.
Yeah, Vic, you're in charge of the super chats.
Yeah, I'm good with the voice. So, anyways, what were you gonna say, GG, to carry the stream while Crow's away?
Okay, the orbiters surrounding this whole situation. One in particular being Sully J. I know I ranted about him a little bit earlier, but this guy, he is a fucking idiot. He has been so fucking unhinged that it's almost become like a fucking comedy bit at this point. Sometimes you think he's trolling, but at the center of it, he's just a sad little man. Now,
so who exactly is Sully G though? That's my question.
Okay, my first interaction with this guy is that he used my tweets in an anti-tipster video when Tipster was defending Lolicon for the umpteenth time. Well, little did we find out that his girlfriend dresses up as a lolly on Instagram.
Wait, what? Who's?
Yes.
Huh?
Sully J. He has a girlfriend who dresses up as a lolly on Instagram.
Oh. Okay.
And
I thought you meant Tipster Pro. I was like, wait, what?
No. Tip. No.
I was like, whoa, what?
He used
Plot twist.
Crow, boo, Lolicon, boo. But the thing is that he used my evidence against Tipster. That's how I first came across him. Then with this whole Orion incident, he comes out of the woodwork and tries to manipulate the situation. He tries to give Orion excuses. He makes a fucking thread about it. He goes into DMs with Orion and tries to lead them on. Basically,
when you say he tries to give Orion excuses, what do you mean? Like be charitable towards them?
Yeah, basically asking them leading questions. When you, like, for instance, when you were raped, did you feel sad? You know, shit like this. It's like, yes, I did feel sad. It's like very basic leading questions that a lawyer would object to. It's like, objection, leading the witness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very basic shit. Then he goes and he starts basically trolling with Sin and me in one of his streams covering this shit. And the next stream that Sin does, we are talking about him specifically because he's just a barrel full of laughs. And before the stream even starts, he puts up like 14 different messages in the chat.
Okay.
And this is like maybe an hour and a half out from the stream actually starting. And he's trying to get his word in, doing all this kind of stupid shit. Well, Simp Killer, who's like a new addition to the team, started doing some digging on him and found his girlfriend, who tends to dress up as a lolly. More specific, the character from Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Now, he's had like several videos, like he was against Tipster for defending the Lolicon, and then he is like specifically very against Lolicons in general, saying that it's equivalent to pedophilia. So, lo and behold, he has a girlfriend who dresses up like it. It's very ironic. It's fucking hilarious. But now he is like on full backpedal mode. He cannot even like defend himself on this whole Kwite situation because he feels what's the word? Well, Kwite gave me an out. He says, guys, don't attack us. We were wrong. Shit like that in his video. And he's using that as his Hail Mary to get out of this.
I mean, shit. You know, from at least a little I've seen, like I said, I didn't follow it as much as everyone else, but at least on the surface, you know, I mean, the shit was flimsy from the beginning. How could people not tell that, hey, you know, this is probably bullshit? I mean, you don't. It costs you less than brain cells, GG Evans.
Yeah, it costs you less than brain cells to believe a victim.
To figure out that
victim.
to figure out that it's absolutely bullshit.
It costs you your credibility if you're wrong. And guess what? All you motherfuckers who did, you're wrong. Your fucking credibility is shot.
Burned.
Yeah.
But
who was it? Who was it? I heard somebody had said something along the lines like it's better to believe a liar than a rapist.
Oh yeah, it turns out that the liar was the rapist.
No, but who said that? Who exactly said that? Because I thought I was like, what? That's fucking ludicrous.
I'm trying to think. It was either Fox City or something.
Like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's better to believe a liar than a rapist. So what?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't even sound even better when you say it like that.
I mean, they're really
How do you know the liar's not lying about the rape? It's just like, what? I was like, oh my god.
It's like, I'd rather believe a liar than a rapist. Like, okay, then I guess you believe Joseph Goebbels then. A propagandist, a paid liar. So should we believe all paid liars at this point?
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
By that logic, yes, they say.
It's just like,
I mean, they don't
I
even
mean,
have
look,
to be a victim. They just have to be a liar.
The thing is, look, the thing is, there's a pretty good chance that, you know, a rapist, you know, is possibly already going to be a liar. So it's just like
Birdman,
the fact that they made a distinction between the two. I thought, I was just like, well, what is this?
Yeah, Birdman and Chad's got it. It's Fox City. I don't know how to pronounce it, but apparently it's like another one of those trans accounts online, and it was just like one of the most brain dead takes I've seen. On top of it doesn't literally cost you brain cells or anything like
Yeah,
that.
that shit too, man, was just like, what the fuck is this, man? It's just like, this is this this what this generation. This is the kind of
all right, everybody, I'm back. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Well, you did not sound excited to see me.
No.
I'm gonna bully the fuck out of you.
Let's go for Lord Bung. Or like, we're still on the memes.
Okay, hold on.
Like I say, I got to dip out, but it was fun. We'll catch up again soon if you do another one.
What?
Of these
I literally just got back, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
no, bro, bye.
No, I really do have to go.
All right,
but y'all take care.
All right, peace, y'all.
That whole it's better to believe a fucking liar or a potential liar than a potential rapist.
That still sounds stupid.
No, it is stupid, but like it was coming from like somebody had said it, and I remember that I can't remember. I just know that it came from something, but I saw other people like parrot that fucking quote out after the fact, and it's like, dude, that's not a fucking like that does not make you look good, right? That does not make you that's not make you a good person. That makes you an awful human being. And look at what wound up happening. You condemn someone who had actually been sexually abused, who was actually being emotionally manipulated, who actually had somebody telling him that, hey, if you don't pay attention to me, I'm going to kill myself. Do you feel bad? Do you feel sorry? Do you even fucking care? I don't think so. Like, I just honestly, I do not think so. I think on
really
many
don't
levels,
think any of these people care at the end of the day.
I agree. I think on many levels, it's like they're okay being evil. They are okay being nasty. They are okay because that's what the group is doing, and they want to be in the safety and the comfort of the group. Okay, let's see. Okay, Sen posted the fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Even though he fucking bailed out on the fucking stream, right? Bailed during the intros. Oh, I gotta fix something. Fucking making shit up. What an awful person.
There is absolutely zero harm to you to just believe the victim. I know some of us listening are probably quite
Now, that clip was specifically used in Kwite's video, which is kind of hilarious to me. That Sen has the only copy of that being said in a Twitter space.
It's fucking hilarious, though. That is fucking hilarious. But that's the thing. Always believe the victim, even after what happened. Yeah, that's going to be the takeaway for many people. And honestly, that's why on some level, I do think that the bullying and the shaming of bad behavior is not a bad thing. Okay, let me explain. And I'm going to be a weeb for a little bit, okay? I'm going to be a weeb for a little bit. And I'm going to explain a concept to you guys. And I just need to find the
Please tell me it's not about Rebecca.
What?
From Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Wait, the Rebecca thing? Listen. I even though Cyberpunk Edge Runners has a lolly in it, it still was a fucking incredible anime. It's on Netflix. Everyone should watch it. It was actually really fucking good. I don't know. Is that the thing?
Yeah, that's the thing that Sully J's girlfriend was dressing up as for him on Instagram.
Yeah, listen, and you know what? I'm going to be honest with you guys. If there was a world, okay, there was a world in which people could fucking how do you say this in a way that's not going to be like completely fucking like taken totally out of fucking context, but is totally truthful. Listen, if there was a world like Cyberpunk, and it was based in our reality where fucking Epstein happened and none of those people went to prison, there would be plenty of individuals just like Rebecca walking the fucking street. So I'm just saying the anime is probably closer to fucking reality of a cyberpunk universe.
Shit.
Ty,
Yeah.
don't blame me for that. Do not blame me for that.
No, but like honestly, we have like really fucked up, nasty, and disgusting people that are in power, and you do have people pushing sexuality onto fucking kids. And like, here's the thing: when they talk about like the school stuff, right, and the books and everything. Listen, man, if you're giving out a book to a kid, teach them how to give a fucking blowjob. Like, I don't know what you want me to fucking tell you. When I had sex ed, it was about, not getting pregnant and not spreading STDs, right? It wasn't on, what's the most pleasurable fucking sexual activity? Well, it's the best foreplay that you can engage in. Man, that is fucking creepy. That is fucking wrong. That is nasty. That is disgusting. And the problem is they mask it around like LGBT fucking whatever. And it's like, no, man, like it's and my problem is, and I'm going to probably do a video on this other thing with this Jeffrey Marsh person, but what the fuck, Frankie?
Damn,
Frankie. Hi, Frankie.
It's because
Did Frankie get triggered by Jeffrey Marsh?
Yes, he does.
Probably.
He does. He pedophiles trigger him. He goes right for their nuts. But anyways, listen. This individual has a video in which he is directly talking to kids. He has multiple videos directly talking to kids, and he is directing those kids to his Patreon behind a paywall. Okay, behind a paywall. So, they have to find some way of paying money for this. But behind the paywall, everything is private, right? Everything on there is completely private. So in there, he has these private videos teaching people how to have a contactless situation with your parents, so you don't have to communicate with your parents. How to keep conversations private from your parents, dude. If there was a grown man, like when I was a kid, when I was a kid, just to be clear. And it wasn't the gay people, right? It was literally anybody. It was anybody who would do this. But typically men. But if there was a grown adult telling children how to have private conversations that their parents couldn't view, dude, man, no, absolutely fucking not. There would be somebody who would grab like something and go deal with it. The cops would be all over it. Nowadays, all the person has to do is put on a dress and wear some makeup, and people just like turn a fucking blind eye to it. It's like if you do that, I'm not going to say that someone who legitimately has gender dysphoria and legitimately is a trans person would then be predispositioned to that behavior. No, what I am going to say is an actual fucking pedophile would take advantage of that situation to gain access to children and to be defended by you against accusations so that they can continue to have access to children.
I mean, it's no different than what Orion was doing.
I mean,
taking advantage of a situation, doing diabolical shit.
I appreciate you looping it back on subject. But no, you're right. Like, people will take advantage. People will absolutely take advantage. And I mean, we'll look. Oh, I was going to say when Orion accused Kwite, they took advantage of the entirety of that movement within the trans community that is willing to just go after literally fucking anyone that is perceived to be against them, because all Orion had to do was say he was a transphobe. And that is why that entire fucking group jumped straight down Kwite's throat.
Yeah, I mean, guys, look, if Orion could do it, it's not unbelievable that some pedophile will claim to be trans and go after children. There are plenty of mischievous and devious people out there who will do this fucking shit. It's a fucking no-brainer. And anyone says that's a slippery slope or, oh, you're just being transphobic, fuck them.
Well, to clarify both these subjects, Orion was willing to accuse someone of transphobia in order to get the trans community to come out against them. That's pretty much all you have to do. If a trans person on social media accuses someone of being transphobic, they will be supported by that online group within the trans community, full stop. Happens over and over. Sorry, at the same time I'm eating something, so.
You want to go ahead and pull up that Family Guy meme?
Yeah.
Well, hold up. In the situation with like a pedophile taking advantage of the situation, it was the Catholic Church before this, right? You had people who wanted access to kids, and that's what they did. That's all they need to do. And because the church didn't want to be seen as, this pedophilic group, right? They sought to like cover it up and bury it and just, pretend it's not happening.
Well, let's just put it like this. These people will seek a position of power to lord over some people, because with that power comes protection. And at first it was the Catholic Church. Now it's trans rights.
Position of power. No. What's going on with this situation in Orion, it's they know what to say to trigger the trans community on Twitter into jumping to their defense, and that's what they did. It's fucked up. It's wrong. That group does this constantly, over and over and over again. They do it over and over and over again, and they go after people, and they don't give a shit. And when you like try to like say, hey, like, come on, like you're going too far, like, come on, knock it off. They turn around and they go, trans people are literally being fucking murdered. In this situation, it's like, man, like, bro, they made everything up. They made literally everything up. They were the ones with the abusive behavior. They were the ones consistently pushing these sexual advances onto Kwite. Wait, what is this? My child is feeling depressed and might blank. Must okay. Must be their section. Look, man, it's like what I think is really nasty is you have kids right now today, all right, that are like legitimately suffering through some pretty heinous fucking mental health problems. And I think a lot of that is probably because you're medicating these kids like super fucking young, and the parents are taking medicine when they're like having these kids, like when they're pregnant and everything. And you're probably like, there's probably something like that's screwed up with that. Okay. There's probably something screwed up with that. But you have other things. You have social anxiety. You have just basic shit like puberty, right? In which people feel uncomfortable within their own body, which is, you know, something that happens during puberty. And you don't have like these people who are honestly trying to help people. It's kind of like, how do you say it? It's kind of like you have a lobbying arm for fucking pharmaceutical companies and shit. Because look, these hormone treatments for a trans person is what, like $1.5 million over their lifetime? $1.5 million over their fucking lifetime. That's just for hormone treatment. What about surgery? Well, what about any of the other medical expenses related to that? This is big money. This is a massive fucking windfall. We know this. What was it? The Boston Children's Hospital? I believe it was that one. Or we can look up the correct one. I'm pretty sure that was the one because they had the whole fake scare or whatever. But these people had somebody openly come out and talk about how this was like a massive... These people were worth so much fucking money. So you have them going to these kids, right? And I'm not saying like the people pushing it really necessarily are realizing this, but this is the net result. Yeah. They're going to these kids and they're saying things like, hey, you know, if you don't like the way you feel in your body, like maybe it's because, you know, that's not who you are, right? How long have you been wearing boys' clothes? That must be because you're a boy. Listen, I'm not saying it's that simple. I get it. And I understand that people are like legitimately are trans and everything, but this is the way they're introducing onto people, and it's highly fucking manipulative. And then they turn around, they validate that entire thing. They tell them that they are this thing. They'll tell them how to like hide it from their parents, keep it silent from the parents, or in some extreme examples, you'll have an adult get involved, threaten to call child services if the parents don't immediately start referring to the child by the now new gender that they have just discovered and they're 100% serious about. And if the parents don't validate every single thing that this kid, who legally can't even fucking consent, is saying, if the parents don't buy into every single fucking thing, well, then they'll call child services because your kid might kill themselves and you're pushing your kid to kill themselves. Do you want your child to kill themselves because you won't validate them? Listen, I'm not saying that shit like that doesn't happen. I'm sure in every single example across the entirety of the spectrum, there has to be at least one case of that legitimately occurring. There would have to be.
You know, Crow, there's a funny episode from South Park that will explain your point a lot better. You remember that episode where we find out that the guy who runs Shitty Walk is actually a white guy and is a therapist?
Oh, yeah.
And thinks Butters has multiple personality disorder?
I was like, damn.
It's like, can I speak to Big Rig Butters? And shit like that. It's like taking a kid seriously when they're playing pretend. Like, think about it. If we just played along like the South Park episode, if a kid says, I'm a firefighter and wears a fucking hat like a firefighter does, are we going to send them into a fucking burning building on the grounds of they are this thing? And if the parents are objecting to it, then they're abusing the child.
Yeah, like this is what I'm sure it happens, but it's not a way to present to people who want to understand it. Yeah, exactly. But what they do is they present it to parents as if this is the standard. And if you don't, your child will hurt themselves. So they emotionally blackmail these fucking parents into going along with all of this shit. They push it onto a child that legally cannot consent for the very reason that they're fucking brain dead stupid and are easily manipulated. And then you have an industry that is looking at these human beings as millions of fucking dollars with legs. What do you think the outcome to that is? Do you think it is an outcome in which the well-being of the individuals is the predominant fucking factor? Or do you think money and profit is? Because to me, money and profit generally is where it's all at.
Oh, yeah. Crow, real quick. Ty says that you missed a super chat.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so sorry because he's the only person who actually super chatted me this stream.
Actually,
Ty,
there was another one.
you.
Vic got them.
Oh, shit. There was another one? Jesus Christ. I feel...
Vic got it. They were wishing me
I got the other one, yeah.
It was Latchkey,
this one I
think.
didn't get.
Oh, Latchkey,
yeah,
you're
the Latchkey
amazing.
one, yeah. Yeah, I got that one for him. So.
Thank you for the super chat. Ty Ironclaw, thank you for the super chat, buddy. You're double extra amazing. All right? All right? You buy money, you get extra privileges here. Fucking capitalism. Yeah, even though we're bitching about money. Remember when that was what sex ed was for and it didn't go out of its way to make us LGBT folk look like predators? I think you legitimately have people that have these interests towards kids and they're placing themselves in positions to do certain things. And I think that that's what pedophiles have always done. They always try to look when let me give an example, a babysitter, okay? Someone that offers to look after your kids. Generally, that's somebody that's a good person, that's a good friend. But if it's a pedophile, of course, they're going to want that opportunity. Anyone who wants to harm children, who is a predator, will look to put themselves into whatever situation gives them access to children. That's not like a difficult concept to understand. I at least I don't think it is. And in the past, I think you can point to various examples of that being the case, of a pedophile who put themselves into a position so they could have more access to kids. We can think of high-profile cases even. What about that one coach, right? That one famous coach who was like abusing the boys. Shit like that happens. They put themselves in these positions because that's their end goal. That's their end game.
State?
That's what they want. Yeah, Penn State. Right? Sorry, I know Penn State. They weren't like they weren't like minors, but he was going after
even adults.
Yeah, he was sexually abusing them. He was molesting them.
You're talking about Jeremy Sandusky, right?
Yeah. Sandusky. Like this guy was a predator. He put himself in a position where he would have access to people that he could prey upon. That's what he wanted. That's what he was getting. So yes, like, do I think people go out of their way to do certain things in order to take advantage of a system? Absolutely. These people are willing to go to prison. Why wouldn't they wear a fucking dress? Like, I don't fucking like. What do you want me to say? Like, I'm not like. Oh god. It's.
I mean, you could put it a different way, Crow. Think about all the legislation that was put into place against tobacco companies from marketing cigarettes to children. It's because they know if a cute-looking character is smoking a cigarette, a kid's going to latch onto it. So what do you think of like all these different books that are being introduced into schools that are under the guise of LGBTQ are presenting them sexual instances is going to do.
I'm just saying there's a reason why it gets pushed. And when you see major corporations and the US government come out hand in hand together, should really fucking tell you something.
Yeah.
The fact that it doesn't is alarming for me, because in my 30s, I've watched the US government do incredibly shady, heinous, and messed up garbage things, get caught doing it, justify doing it, and then do it again.
Yeah, waterboarding
and lie about it, and get caught lying, and then do it again.
Invading countries with false pretenses. I mean, come on.
And across every president, from Bush to Biden, from when I was a kid to now. I guess Clinton too, but yeah, I don't really remember. I don't really remember Clinton very well. My point is, you go through this like spectrum, and it's like any time the U.S. government is like heavily pushing anything, you really need to think about why. But like when you have people come out and blatantly state when they don't think that anyone's recording them, or I don't think it's going to get out, that these people will make them a fucking fortune. And you just like turn your brain off. You say, well, that's not important. They really do care about people. Fuck all, man. Fuck all. All right, what's up, man?
I'm on my break.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. All
What's
right, look,
up?
we got it. We like have been so off topic with like random shit.
That's literally why I came in here. I was like, what's happening? There's books and pedos, and I was like, what happened to Orion? It's like, what's going on?
Comes into the chat, it's like books and pedos, oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, well, look. We got to go back to this. Here's the thing. This is what I've decided. This entire situation. This is Orion's anime. It's Orion's anime. It's called Rate Me Kwite Senpai or whatever.
Boku no Pico Orion Sama?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. but yeah, look.
That's a good way of putting it.
That's basically what happened. We're in the final arc, and we're dealing with the side characters, right? So we dealt with the Suijin motherfucker. We've dealt with the Tusk person, whatever. And then we had our filler arcs. Okay, we had our filler arcs talking about grooming and schools and books and all that other shit. And now we're back into the end of the final arc, and we're dealing with the final side character, which is Bung.
Yeah, and the memes.
Which is who? Who was it?
Lord Bung.
Lord Bung.
Oh, Lord Bung? B-U-N-G?
Yeah. Just call him fucking... No. Just call him fucking Dung Eater. This person's a piece of shit. This
Lord
motherfucker.
Bunghole.
I'm not apologizing. Look, Horung the Dung. Fucking Dung Eater, motherfucker. I'm not apologizing for supporting my friend who had their life ruined by sexual assault. You fucking piece of shit, garbage, shit-eating motherfucker. It's wild to me that people expected me to do nothing when my best friend came out about their story. You know, motherfucker, if your best friend came out of a story about being assaulted, I understand. I actually do. But you didn't just come out in support of your friend. You made up stories. You made up stories so that people would believe your friend. What do you want me to say to that? What do you want me to say?
They're not just
and now that your friend's
bro.
been caught, and now that your friend's been caught, and been completely been proven to have been completely fucking lying on every fucking level, you come out and go, well, I was just trusting my friend.
Well,
you can't blame me for that.
It's not just their best friend. At points on and off, they were internet butt buddies. Quite literally.
Yeah, you can't expect me. You can't expect me not to make up lies for my fuck buddy. They might hold out on me. They might hold out on me.
They won't give me none if I don't lie. You don't understand. It's hard out here. This desert is dry and this flower is wilting. Like I have to do this. You don't understand.
And this is the same guy. This is the same guy that was the quote unquote impartial mediator in that fucking call where Kwite apologized.
Impartial. Emphasis on impartial. I got you. All right. So this is what they said in the past, or is this something new?
This is 2 weeks ago. Hey,
Okay.
everyone. This in regards to the recent Kwite controversy. I just want to say I've known Orion for several years now. They're my fuck buddy. And I know he's telling the truth. It would be a stupid amount of effort, except not at fucking all, to actively and expertly lie, except they fucking didn't. Expertly is what I mean. They fucking lied, but man, was it bad. About the details of these events and his raw, visceral emotions for years. Bullshit. I've had witnessed and helped one of my best friends and fuck buddies get through breakdown after breakdown over specific and consistent triggers over their ex not wanting to be their butt buddy for several years, and it absolutely breaks my heart when I see some people think he's lying when he totally is. My heart when I see... skip that. He just wanted his story out and all the attention that came with it. He didn't want to have to carry so much alone. That's why you're here. He wanted you all to know what kind of a person Kwite is because he fucking despises them. And to just know what kind of person and just be cautious and cancel him and brand him as a rapist and share his face everywhere so he can't get a job. I mediated a call between Orion and Kwite long ago regarding their relationship, and Kwite was incredibly harsh and aggressive and nasty, and you shouldn't trust him. He would tell he would tell inconsistent stories and get very intense, mean, bad, mean Kwite. When questioned, it's not so much that a bad temper was the issue, it's that nothing was ever resolved. He would just yell the loudest and win. Really, because 4 years ago, your fucking cunt of a fucking psycho bitch fucking accepted the fucking apology, you lying motherfucker. When Kwite and I shared a B&B in Melbourne and Anaheim at Paxos and VidCon, I recall him being very transactional socially. He's cold. He's not a human being. Be mean to him. And aggressive. And very physical when drunk. So he totally raped them. I got no sense that he wanted to be my friend. And I wouldn't want to be your fucking friend either, you fucking God. Oh man, I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something very derogatory.
You should play fucking sad music. You should play sad music behind this shit while you read it. Fucking
oh God. Wait, Oris said you're both here. Okay, you're gonna love this.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would. But I legally can't. But I've considered it.
I saw it when you started the stream. It was funny.
I like the hoodie. I like the hoodie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You should play sad music. That's not what I said, though, while you read this shit.
What sad music do you want me to fucking play that I can play on the fucking stream that you're going to be able to fucking hear while I have this up at the exact same time?
Play that pathetic Naruto sad song.
That's copyrighted all the way to fucking hell and back.
It's never stopped you before. It's never stopped you before.
No, wait.
He's right.
I got 2 super chats on this fucking stream.
Oh my God! I'll just shut the fuck up. Shut up. Listen, I'll sing you a sad song. She give me money when I'm in need.
That's not it.
Just fucking read it.
I got one better.
Just sing
it.
Pete like you usually do.
I read it. It's fucking eye cancer from this lying, disgusting little fucking creep. This little fucking loser who doesn't want to fucking point out that their fucking fuck buddy is a lying, degenerate fucking whore. So they go out here and they fucking leave that fucking nasty ass fucking comment right? Trying to convince everybody, oh, how truthful and honest Orion is when motherfucker, I could smell it all the way from fucking over here. Fucking Kwite could tell what was going on around him. Your ass has known this little fucking psycho for 4 fucking years, and the entire time they've been obsessed with Kwite. There's no fucking way your ass didn't fucking see it.
You never get any noise complaint, like ever? Like, no one ever has like calls a wellness check and shit. Like, you know, like there's every fucking Monday at midnight, there's a man just screaming his head off.
I have a pit bull, and he will keep me safe.
Well, so long as Crow doesn't get his dog barking, I think he's safe.
Yeah, my dog literally just sleeps through this now. He used to like perk his head up, and I was just like, whatever.
Frankie's just barking in the background. And Crow's like, you motherfucking piece of shit. Like, and it's all hell's just breaking loose. You know, like all the rage you just had for Orion is, I swear, like Will Smith thought the same thing about Chris Rock that one time at the Oscars.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
Same hatred.
Well, look, honestly, man, Will Smith is an embarrassing human being. What I feel for Kwite is like, you know, this is a sad situation. What I feel for Orion is this is an actually evil motherfucker, and they need to be shamed into never
Will Smith
doing
slapped.
this. Yeah, no, they really do. Fucking this Bung person, though, right? They backed up Orion because, again, it wasn't just Orion being their best friend. Orion's their fuck buddy. They're not going to call out their main fucking squeeze.
This is weird. All this shit is weird. This is some nasty fucking Gengensei fucking bullshit anime nasty shit. What's going on? I hate all this. Whatever.
Well,
so did they say anything new?
Yeah, so people are like dropping them all these comments on their Instagram post because they're just like ignoring all this stuff that's going on now. And you know, people like leaving comments, they go, I'm not apologizing for supporting my friend who had their life ruined by sexual assault. It's wild to me that people expected me to do nothing when my best friend came out about their story. Like, and the thing is, people are still going after them. Like, this didn't put a stop to people leaving those comments because, like, dude, nobody buys that. Nobody fucking buys that. They know that Orion made it all up. They know Orion made it all the fuck up. It was obvious to some people that weren't talking about it because, you know, they really wanted to be extra super cautious, but they knew something was wrong. Most people fucking did. You want to claim that you were their fucking best friend for 4 fucking years. You are not going to get away with telling me that you didn't fucking see it. I'm saying that peasant fucking dung eater can jump in the same fucking hole as Orion, and they can go bury their fucking reputations.
Do you think
both of them?
You think Lord Bungus did it to like dip the tip? Is that the reason? Is that why?
You know, honestly,
I mean, I think it was more like Captain Bunghole here was wanting to give the tip.
See. Do you agree with that, Crow?
I think it's very homophobic or transphobic or whatever the fuck. Because what you need to understand is Orion is a trans woman, and and peasant dung motherfucker is a trans man.
What the fuck is going? I don't care. This is so stupid.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I mixed that up. I'm so sorry. Orion is a trans man.
Okay.
And peasant dung eater is a trans woman.
So they are
in a straight relationship with each other.
So Bungus is the woman, is a trans woman?
Yes.
So then why does their name have Lord and not Lady?
I don't know.
We don't ask those questions.
There are too many Uno reverse cards with the gender here. Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's confusing.
Well, you should file a complaint to them. They're not being very transgendery.
Go to their Instagram account and leave them a comment okay, Aura, leave them a comment that says, hey, I'm totally confused. Why do you have Lord in your name when it says that your pronouns are lady bitch?
It's confusing. It's like having, Mr. Gami and but I identify as a woman. How the fuck? Whatever.
Look, Captain Bunghole here got an established title.
Gilbert Godfrey is proud in his grave right now. Nice tone energy there. Gilbert Godfrey ain't got shit on me, motherfucker.
Gilbert Godfrey's a fucking legend. You will respect him. You will. Yeah.
He's a legend because Iago, and that's it.
Not just Iago.
No,
he's funny.
That's where
He's
I know
a funny
him from.
fucking guy.
Wait a
Iago.
minute. Wasn't he a comedian?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Dude, the last character he played was God.
Aristocrats.
He played God in Smiling Friends.
Oh, wow. I never watched Smiling Friends. I don't give a shit.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? You don't know anything about Gilbert Godfrey and you just judged him, you fucking dumb fuck. Why don't you go back to yelling out your window?
I didn't fucking judge him. I didn't
Yes,
fucking
you
judge
did.
him. I said he's most well known for fucking Iago from fucking Aladdin. It's a classic fucking Disney movie.
I'm glad
and
they got
most
rid
of
of
us grew
Columbus.
up on it.
I'm glad
So
they got
most
rid
of
of
us
Columbus
remember
Crow.
Gilbert fucking Godfrey from the fucking movie.
I'm glad they
Don't
got rid
forget,
of
he was the
Columbus.
Aflac duck.
Fucking asshole.
Fuck you.
What? No
Fuck
way.
you too.
Really?
Yes.
Fuck you, bitches.
Yeah,
Oh, wow, that
Gilbert
was the
Gottfried
first
was
time.
the
Wait,
Affleck
stop.
duck.
That was the first time Vic used that soundboard perfectly.
Yeah,
Congrats,
for real.
man.
It was cute.
But yeah, Gilbert Gottfried was the Affleck duck until that tsunami hit Japan and took out Fukushima, and he
Jesus
made a joke
Christ.
about it.
What the fuck?
What the hell?
wait. Send. Say something that will get you canceled in 2 years.
I can't. I'll just save it for tomorrow.
Coward.
Guillermo del Toro is a bit overrated.
All right, my
Sure,
break's
let's
over.
go with that. Let's
I'm
go
gonna
with
leave.
that.
I'll see you later.
See ya.
Later.
Later.
Later, Tater. Don't divorce. I'm scared.
Okay, wait. Back to Gilbert Gottfried for like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Listen.
Of course you say it right after Aura leaves.
Yeah, of course. That he's gone. It's just the voice. Like, for me, listening to his stand-up, he's really funny, but man, dude, that voice, it's tough.
It's
tough.
iconic.
It's iconic, but man, listening to it for like 2 hours straight is like a fucking screw being drilled into my fucking temple.
Oh, it could be worse. You could be listening to Orion for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, we were like best friends, and then he just like stopped talking to me, and I didn't really understand it. And I had his number, and I had his parents' number. I knew all his fucking secrets. And if he doesn't contact me right now, I'm gonna leak everything about his dick that don't work.
Fucking little cunt. What? You know that's what was fucking going on.
Maybe. Who knows? At the end of the day, Orion's just a fucking idiot. I was going to make another joke before Aura left. I was going to ask him, how does it feel knowing that Orion is a fellow Florida man?
Oh my god.
Dude, why does Florida man always do something like heinous and fucked up?
Well, Orion did something heinous and fucked up, and technically they are a man, according to them.
Technically.
Oh, wow. Dude, like, man, that other story I was telling you about, somebody quote tweeted a tweet of mine, and they said some, like, really fucked up shit.
What was it about?
Like, you know what? I ain't gonna say it. Like, man, with some people, they got a lot of hate in their hearts.
Yeah,
but I get it. They're angry. I get it.
I mean, just
254 people voted in my poll.
Just think of the headlines that we could create with Orion's story here. It's like, Florida man claims to be raped by a 17-year-old.
Wait, is he a Florida man?
Yes.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, look, here's the thing. Their story of the sexual encounter, to me, that's completely been disproven at this point. Like, I don't think there's any reason to even pretend that was a thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's I wanted to jump into his video really quick. And I wanted to hear what Kwite had to say about Lord fucking peasant dung eater motherfucker.
Lord Silly
Because
Nipples.
yeah, the thing is, when I watch this video, I've watched everything to basically about here. Because at this point, the rape stuff was completely off the fucking table. He had completely disproven all of that shit. And these other sections, to me, like, this is just like nail in the coffin. The thing on the Slazo situation, I thought that was good of him to actually mention and talk about. Because I've seen some people mention how he, what he did with Slazo and how he promoted a bunch of false accusations against Slazo. And he says, you know, he's got to issue a third apology to Slazo now because he understands what he put Slazo through. So he's apologized to what he did to Slazo in the past. You know, he was a kid when that happened. It doesn't excuse any of it, but it's 4 years later now, and it's been done to him. I think he gets it. I think it's fucking awful. I don't think we need to do it to anybody. But I thought it was good of him to at least acknowledge it and what's going on here. And this is what I mean about, you know, people who make mistakes. Listen, he made a massive, major, big, fucking bad, you completely fucked up mistake with the Slazo situation. He's obviously learned from it. That's all I can say. He's obviously learned from it. If people still want to throw that against him, I just don't get why. I really wouldn't. But let's talk about Lord Bung.
A mediator present.
Oh boy.
I need to take the time to address the actions of that mediator, a former friend of mine, and another content creator named Danny or Lord Bung. She was directly implicated in the original Twitlonger by Orion, and Bung went on herself to make a statement of support for Orion, both in her Discord server, YouTube community tab, and a few other places. The way Orion describes Bung's involvement is as the mediator of our final call, who acted as both the reason I calmed down and apologized after a fit of rage, and who was able to see through my apparent pattern of gaslighting that Orion claimed I was continuing in that call. Bung presents herself as an equal mediator for both parties, where, when giving each side equal due, came to the conclusion that I was the one acting in bad faith. They said I was incredibly aggressive during that final call, claiming I changed my story and was intense when questioned. She described me as being transactional socially and an angry physical drunk at the times we were together in person, and that she didn't get the sense I wanted to be her friend at all during those times. Denny also said that Orion was one of her best friends, and she had seen the visceral emotions caused by the events up close for years. All of this before ending off saying that the people taking a risk in the situation are Bung and Orion, because in doing all this, it's them who risk getting destroyed by a wealthy YouTuber. Everything Bung said in her...
So that was what Bung contributed to this argument, right? That was the entirety of everything that Bung contributed to this situation. They heavily validated Orion's claims, which we know are completely fucking false. And to me, it looks like Bung was...
I can probably bust a...
No, that's
Sorry,
okay.
Bung.
No, play the soundboard. You already started. That's fine.
No, it's okay. No, that was a false button. My bad.
Oh, okay. But no, Bung contributed to this situation. That's why I said, like, Bung doesn't need to, like, sit there and say, "Oh, you can't expect me to." Like, honestly, you should know the person that you're fucking. You should really know the person that you're fucking on more than one occasion. So the fact that you didn't see through this shit, the fact that you're so fucking blind to this shit when it's blatantly fucking obvious, their behavior is unhinged on social media, unfucking hinged in real life. We can see how they acted with fucking Kwite. There's no fucking way you didn't fucking see it. And you backed up everything. You knowingly fucking lied about events because you thought you were going to come out fucking ahead. You're a fucking psychopath. You're no better than Orion. No better than fucking Orion.
her statement regarding me are opinions she's reached on her own about my quality of character. I feel them to be very uncharitable, especially since both the events she says I was socially transactional during were industry events for my job, where part of the explicit purpose of traveling there was to meet people and network. And if these were opinions Danny held in the 2 years we stayed in contact after that final call, I unfortunately was never made aware of them or given an opportunity to discuss and perhaps rectify them with her before we last spoke. The last time I spoke with Bung was in 2020 through a brief DM exchange where she reaffirmed that she thought of me as a friend, and it's been radio silence in the 3 years following that on both sides. Now, in her community post, Bung described her and Orion as a we, like the two of them were taking the risk collectively, which directly ties Danny with the side she falls to. I don't hold any of that against Danny, but in the years since we last spoke, she spent a lot of time with Orion. She works closely with Orion on Confinement, which is Bung's flagship series, and Bung and Orion dated each other as far back as 2021 from tweets I could find, and if memory serves, as recently as around this time last year. I don't have receipts for that one. That's just when I remember hearing about it for the first time in passing. None of this is to say that I am entitled somehow to Bung's time or attention, but the bias of which person Danny would lean to today is self-evident. Her image as an equal mediator is further hampered when Orion describes her as knowing better than to believe me in that final call, implying a foregone conclusion about if anything that I said in that call would be true or not. If this is the case,
that was actually really clever to point out. Like, man.
What, that they were Bung buddies?
No. I mean, yeah, no. Pointing that part out. I meant what he just showed. Yeah. In Bung's own words, when Bung was claiming to be this like completely neutral arbiter for the both of them, they did say that they knew better about Kwite. So they did go into that situation with at least a preconceived notion of these people. And their preconceived notion of Kwite was to not take him at his word. It is a little telling.
This would not only negate Bung's ability to act as a neutral character witness today, but also her status as a neutral mediator in that call. You could argue that Kappa's testimony when I first cut off Orion is similar, but he never tried to hold himself as a pillar of neutrality, and he certainly didn't use his framing to help falsely accuse someone else of rape, based on the fact he didn't think they wanted to be friends with him very much. The only reason Danny's testimony is relevant here is because she was meant to be Orion and I's mediator in our last spoken conversation, an event I'd like to now give my account of and perspective on in depth. One thing that me, Bung, and Orion all agree happened in that call is that I got aggressive and explosive. And at points, I absolutely was. It is an emotional response that, looking back, I feel was completely reasonable, especially considering the circumstances I was put in during that conversation. This call, which I sincerely tried my best to speak civilly and keep my cool in, is with someone I distanced myself from half a year ago because of his codependence towards me and the emotional strain he put on my mental health. Someone who had now come back into my life by appearing in a video that self-admittedly was trying to destroy my career, in which he publicly outed my struggle with self-harm before I ever got to open up about it on my own, where he also claimed I was emotionally abusive to him with nothing substantiating it, and said that I dropped him from my life solely because of my arrogance over my newfound success and hunger for more of it. All of this, again, which made me certain that I had made the right choice in cutting him off. I'm coming fresh off the back of that upload. This call also notably took place on September 15th, 2018. Me and Bung talk about having the call set up and actually starting the call in our Discord DMs on that day. But meanwhile, outside and in real life, where I lived at the time, placed me and my family squarely in the path of Hurricane Florence. I had relatives closer to the coast who had moved in with us because their house was at risk of being destroyed and it was unsafe to stay there. Even where I lived further inland, the storm was a threat we had to prepare for in case of losing power, debris, and general infrastructure failure. It wasn't some kind of non-issue just because we weren't by the ocean. The storm and the new people in my house was a change of environment for me, but manageable on its own. And this isn't my attempt at bringing up an excuse for my actions, but rather a genuine factor in my ability to participate in this call and the...
I just want to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think Orion got off to the fact that there was a hurricane that hit Florida named after them?
You know, man, look, I think Orion is a fucking nutcase. So maybe. But
especially since there was like a hurricane when they excoriated Kwite the first time around.
My problem right now, this thing with this Bung person, because there's another individual, and I don't think this person's ever been named, and I don't know if they ever will be named, but somebody came out claiming to be a former Discord mod or a current Discord mod of Kwite's, backing up everything that Orion was saying. Shit like that, like these people who tried to validate Orion's claims, which we know were completely fucking false, they should face, everyone involved in that mess should face some sort of penalty. And I don't know what that penalty is, okay? I'm not saying, oh, they need to pay a fine. I just mean they need to do more than just admit they were wrong here, because this went so fucking far over the line. And
Yeah,
the people
because
that
there was
bought
an-
it need to fucking examine their fucking heads.
Because there was another person that fucking Orion was pushing with their story, claiming that Kwite had a mod that was a pedophile that was seeking them out when they were 14 or something. During this whole entire nonsense on like day 2,
I saw
I
that,
think.
like, yeah, but I never saw any follow up on that.
Yeah, like there was no evidence for that claim either. And well, actually, there was a bit of a follow up because someone had stated, "Wait, I think I know who the mod you are talking about is. Do you mind sending me their name in DMs?" And then it just came out to be a nothing burger. I mean, Sin, you covered that on stream like on night 2, I think.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, no, I talked. Yeah. No, I talked to the person that made that claim. They came in my DMs and they said, "Oh, I didn't have the screenshots at the time because I was scared." But then they made a tweet and somebody, like Gigi said, came in and was saying, "Hey, I think I know who you're talking about." And then they replied to it and they're like, "Oh, really? Hit me up and tell me the name," as in like, implying that they don't know who the fuck they're talking about. And then the next tweet, it was either the previous tweet or the same tweet. It's like weird. They also said, "Hey, the reason I'm not giving out the identity of the person is because they have a family, last I checked, with a kid or something." But then I think about it and I'm like, well, if you're calling this guy a predator, a pedo, why wouldn't it be more of an incentive for you to speak out and let people know? Because I don't think a predator should be with a child, right? Or have a family like with a kid, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'd abuse the kid, most likely. I mean, he already abused, allegedly, the 15-year-old. So a lot of things they said didn't even make sense. This whole thing was like a jumbled up mess.
Yeah, it was collateral damage.
It doesn't need to make sense for that. No.
Crow bugging out for me, or is that like everyone?
It's happening to me. It's been happening like in and out throughout this whole stream. I don't know if his internet's going down. I thought it was mine for a time.
Yeah, because I just heard.
Wait, what's happening?
Your mic was like popping like when you were speaking.
Oh wow, that's weird. I should probably not be playing video games in the background then.
Yeah, that's you're good.
Anyways. Yeah,
you're good.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna play this, but the people that try to like jump on and latch onto this shit and dogpile, they're a large contributing factor for it for sure. I think at the end of the day, your primary antagonist in this anime shonen arc is Orion. And it's fucking Bung. And Bung tried to self-associate with Orion and say that like they were taking this huge risk with Orion by coming forward. They clearly see see themselves and Orion as a pair. I'm not saying as a couple, but like as a pair, as a duo. I think that those two are the ones who need to face all of the consequences for this shit. But I think it needs to be like a grave fucking warning for all the other idiots who jumped on board and joined the dog pile. Because you went after somebody that has a history, and it's really fucked up.
The amount of stress I was actively managing at once during the time. I let Bung know this could be an issue the day of, and she had even apologized for putting me through all of this in the middle of a hurricane. Unfortunately, it did become an issue when the basement where all of the equipment I used to make videos had flooded. My stress was threefold of thinking I'd almost lost all the expensive equipment I needed to do my job, what it meant for my family as far as costs and their future plans, and just generally still being in a hurricane. This was something I also talked about with Orion after we reached a truce of sorts in that call. call. The flooding caused me to have to delay the meeting till later that day and was an ongoing situation with my family that didn't exist in the backdrop, but was an active problem during this whole thing. This call with Orion, what would without a doubt be a highly emotional and personal discussion for me, was not the most pressing thing I had going on at the time. And even then, I still made my best effort to be in that call as level-headedly as I could manage. And ultimately, there were several things that happened during the conversation itself that eventually set me off. Earlier in the day, a friend of mine, Evan, had sent me one of the pictures of Orion and I together. It was one of the ones that Orion leaked himself publicly during this current round of allegations. At that point in time, Evan would not have had access to this picture on his own, unless Orion had posted them somewhere or shared them with people I didn't know and didn't approve of seeing my face. I brought this up to Orion, having proof that at some point he had leaked my face, and he claimed to have never done that, telling a lie directly to me in a call where we're meant to patch things up. And when I mentioned the evidence I had proving it, he gave no response, and unfortunately the conversation moved past it. This again makes the claim in their twitlonger of never having posted my pictures anywhere incorrect as well. Maybe Orion only meant posting it to social media like Twitter or Instagram, but as the person who got doxxed, I very much count sending my face to people I don't approve of as posting it somewhere. The trigger that directly set me off was later in that call though. My emotions were definitely running high at the time, but at some point I told my account of when we met up in February in that call, of how the single kiss that me and Orion did share was something I felt uncomfortable with doing at the time. In his twitlonger, Orion preempts my actions in that call by saying I was just further gaslighting him. This was in order to paint anything I may have done in that call as inauthentic or untrustworthy before you even find out what I did. But here he says he tried to gaslight me further, claiming that I had led him on, or worse, assaulted him instead. The assault Orion says I accused him of is in reference to me telling Orion and Danny that I was uncomfortable with that kiss. I have said the same thing happened that day for years, because I remember how weird I felt about it soon after it happened, and how my discomfort around the topic still remains when having to look back on all this as intensely as I've had to make this video. It was the same story when I vented to my friends months before that September call with Orion. It was the same when I told my therapist, the same recently when friends of mine were first approached by Orion, who went directly to Orion saying I raped him, but who were still willing to hear me out, all the way up to in this video. What set me off was that...
You know what? I will say this. He's got some good friends. He absolutely does. Because they're...
at least.
Yeah. Because many people these days don't give a shit, would fucking bury you. Put a fucking
that's the
hatchet in your
sucky
back.
part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has the support group that Orion wishes they had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, low blow, man.
I mean, it's true, isn't it?
I mean, it is, but that hurt.
I mean, I'm not pulling any punches with this shit.
Nor should you.
After I communicated that the kiss had made me uncomfortable, Orion denied it. And he said something to the effect of telling me that I was wrong and that we actually kissed more than once, saying that I had initiated it the second time. We did not do that. As I'm seeing it, Orion is lying straight to my face again about something incredibly sensitive to me. He's essentially told me that I'm wrong and I actually wanted it when we kissed, and that really I was into it so much that I kissed him again myself. Despite every denial I've made when he's asked these kind of things before, and despite me honestly communicating how he made me feel here, I'm being told I'm wrong. And in fact, the way I remember it, have always remembered it from 2018 till now, it didn't even happen. I saw red. I felt like this was not the first time Orion had lied this called about something to my face, and that was this serious. I was yelling and screaming and really angry and just not handling it well. Though any claims Orion made about me throwing and breaking things are impossible for him to have known, as there were no webcams turned on in this call, and the clipping audio you may hear from a microphone isn't much to go off. And whether I was breaking shit or not, it doesn't change if whether my anger was warranted or not. The only person who would have been in real danger over Discord because of my outburst would have been me to myself. Orion says again that during the...
You know, that's interesting with this Lord Bung person, because if their statement is, you know, Kwite was telling an unreliable story and the events kept changing. No, it sounds like what happened is Bung was supposed to be the mediator, but in reality, Bung had already talked with Orion, and Bung had already gotten Orion's side of the story, Orion's perspective, already believed Orion was the one telling the truth. And so when Bung started pushing on Kwite and saying, no, you were kissing me. Don't you remember? Don't you remember? That's what was happening. And he's getting angry and saying that wasn't happening. Fucking Bung's just sitting there going like, oh, look at him. He's getting mad because he's denying it. He's being called on it. Fucking Bung is just a fucking idiot.
I mean, Bung is the equivalent of that Family Guy bit where Peter introduced a new eyewitness called the Ghost That Never Lies. Like, I swear to God, this is. I can't help but just point to Family Guy episodes and cutaway gags and shit like this just to make fun of this whole situation.
Because life has become parody.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
This fit, all I did was try to gaslight him further in another attempt to discredit anything I might have said or done during that outburst, no matter what it was. And Orion also claimed it took Danny calming me down to get me to apologize. This is not true. In reality, I let my family know what this call would be about, so they were aware of how it might go with emotions on both ends likely to run so high. In truth, it was my dad holding me through a panic attack while I cried that helped me pull myself together enough. When I got mad in the call, I physically left the room to actively remove myself from the situation that was distressing me. I'm not sure what else I was supposed to do. Like, I was trying to handle my emotions. I was trying to manage my outburst in like the least destructive way I could, and it wasn't enough apparently for Orion. I wasn't even sure if I was going to go back in after that. It felt like a repeat of March 2018 again. It felt like I didn't get to say anything or finish any thoughts without it being shot down or talked over. Still, I went into that last call telling myself that I'd try to do better than the last time. I didn't want it to be another screaming match, and at the time, I felt bad that I hadn't managed to keep my cool. At the time, in that headspace, reacting like that felt like I had failed, but now looking back on those, I realized that both times, anger was a reasonable reaction to the type of things I had been put through and told by Orion. Still, after cooling down, I did end up going back in to apologize, and I had meant it at the time, despite Orion's belief that I was insincere. Danny earlier claimed that in this call, the issue wasn't my bad temper, but that nothing ever got resolved, and instead I would just yell the loudest and win. This also isn't true, as there were things I actively apologized for in that call, something Bung attested to me having done in our DMs, and Tusk also confirmed in the pinned comment of his video. I gave far more ground in that call than I got, even when I didn't agree with the things I was choosing to let go. Still, at that point, it was my understanding that even if it was messy, me and Orion had sorted things out and could try to move on with our lives. In hindsight, and I mean within days after the hurricane wasn't an issue anymore and I had time to think about the whole thing, I have always regretted not self-advocating for myself more in that conversation. There were issues that I never got resolved or to even mention to Orion. I didn't get closure on the things I brought up to Orion, like leaking my face, and a lot of that was because I was more concerned at the time with the hurricane I was in the middle of. Because of that, I conceded things that I really shouldn't have and probably wouldn't have normally to try and get it over with quicker and back to focusing on my family sooner. The thing is, despite the way he claims I treated him all the time, right after we put a lid on our differences, Orion floated the idea of trying to be friends again immediately after that. I was uneasy about that concept as soon as it got mentioned. But since I was the one conceding more fault, even if it was just to get this whole thing over with, I at least decided to give it a try. For a period of time, I genuinely tried to DM amicably with Orion again. Most of these conversations after that call took place over Twitter DMs. I can only prove my side of the conversation is real, as Twitter archive viewer is busted with Orion's side of the conversation.
Yeah. Wow.
Only works up to
Anyways.
like May 2017, and their Twitter is suspended, so I can't go just directly to it. What I was able to grab was Orion's side of the messages by digging through the actual files themselves. I've lined Orion's messages up with the screenshots of the DMs I've sent to prove that at least my end of the exchanges in these logs are real, but the only way I can even get an archive of what Orion said is through control-Fing his Twitter ID and the direct messages JSON file. And full disclosure, these are relatively easy to fake. You can load them up in Notepad. If you're skeptical because of that, it's totally fair, and if anybody knows a way I can verify these, please let me know. Regardless, I believe the messages I can prove I sent still paint the nature of these conversations fairly accurately. Orion talked about how getting to be friends again was a knot in his chest going away that he didn't realize was there. He said he had thought of this scenario before he went to bed tons of times. Very early in, I told Orion that I'm not sure how I feel about being friends again, that I'd give it a try, but I can't promise that I'll be comfortable enough to follow through by the end. There was a discussion about me being more upfront with what bothers me, which I agreed at.
Man, the level.
Yeah.
The fucking level it quite went through.
Yeah, just to prove it.
I mean, to go back to what was it, Orion said about them getting back together as being friends is like a knot in their chest going away. Well, let's just hope it stays away, kind of like your tits at this point.
They have attachment issues. They have attachment issues.
By the way, Crow, I just want to let you know I'm gonna be hopping off for a night here.
Dude, have a good night, man.
Oh yeah.
Crow, you missed that joke.
What?
I hope that knot stays away just like their tits.
Dude.
Because they had it cut out at this point.
Are you sure?
I mean, they're a trans man now.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they did the surgery.
Doesn't mean they're not going to.
Nah, that's true.
I mean, they already cut Kwite out of their life at this point. There's no going back to having friends.
I guess. But the thing is, with Orion, I don't actually feel bad. Whatever happens at this point moving forward, I don't feel bad for them. I don't care. I honestly do not care. They are mean. They are nasty. It's clear they have attachment issues as well as abandonment issues. It's clear that they are desperate for Kwite's attention, and it's clear that they want Kwite to be hurting. There's no saving this individual. Okay, they're willing to weaponize a community. They're willing to weaponize many things. And the way they've gone about this entire situation, they're dangerous, right? They're dangerous to interact with. They're dangerous to be around. If Bung doesn't continue to validate all of this bullshit, I guarantee you they will be the next person on Orion's list.
Yeah, it's basically just like with Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Like anyone that crosses her doesn't want to be friends anymore. They automatically get accused of horrendous shit.
Yeah. But
so Lord Bung, Danny, whatever you want to be called, get the fuck out while you still can. Or better yet, get ready to dig your own grave.
Now this is
at the time was somewhat my fault, but looking back, I definitely expressed my feelings before all this, and it often didn't matter, as Orion would go on ahead with certain things I didn't want to do anyways. But I did really try for like a month. But every time I messaged Orion, it felt forced on my end, and I was always incredibly uncomfortable speaking with him. Regardless of either of our apologies to the other, I could not get past the totality of our history, and especially the fresh wound of him publicly outing me for having self-harmed. Eventually, one day, Orion asked if I was free to call, and I wasn't comfortable doing that. This time, though, I didn't want to dance around talking to Orion about that like I had last time. So I decided to be upfront about this and communicate it exactly like he had asked me to when we first started talking again. My angle was that we've hopefully settled things, that I've got no ill will for Orion and wished him the best moving forward, but that after giving it an honest effort, I didn't feel being in each other's lives again was on the table. Just conversing with Orion through text was enough to make me anxious every time. There was some back and forth where Orion wanted to at least keep trying it, and I could call it off if I was ever uncomfortable again. Honestly, I knew that would be wasted time for us both by the end of it. I said I forgave him on some things, but I couldn't forget them, so I didn't want to continue speaking. To some extent, everything I apologized for in that final call, I was sincere about. I did regret getting angry in the call at the time. I was willing to let certain things go and take responsibility for things I didn't really feel were my fault in order to let bygones be bygones so we could move forward. But after having to re-examine my relationship with Orion these last few weeks, how he treated me while we knew each other and after, what happened in that call, how much I wish I had said and never got closure for, I am retracting anything I apologized for that night, as I do not stand by any of it. My reactions to the situations I was put in were completely reasonable. And considering what I've been dealing with in recent weeks, I am done being the bigger person so that my abuser will leave me alone, because he clearly won't. It was hard for me to gauge how Orion felt about being cut off again, even if it was on better terms this time, but I thought I could at least get back to pushing forward to what's next for me. The whole thing was emotionally and personally taxing, but after all was said and done, we ended up back where we were before. Me and Orion weren't talking, and I was trying to move on with my life. For the next few years, it seemed to stay pretty quiet. Occasionally, I saw people saying I was a shitty person, saying things that echoed what Orion had said about my character in the past, but considering that this video exists, that peace obviously didn't last. So I'd like to track one of the people who's always had a generally negative opinion of me that Orion later befriended, and how the severity of the reasons for disliking me escalated over time. First, this guy said I was getting less attention than I used to, and this was right before my blow up. Almost a year later, he's in my Q&A replies asking a somewhat genuine question. When I hit 500,000 subs, he's telling me, this is your peak and you need to face reveal, otherwise you'll never grow more. And even with all that, they still said they couldn't judge me personally, even though they didn't like my videos. But he still hates my thumbnails and thinks very negatively of my viewers. In 2020, they upgraded me from a shitty YouTuber to a shitty person in general. And at some point, they started started feeling this strongly enough that if they saw me mentioned anywhere, they would go out of their way to say how much they hate me. And it was a few years later where the Hail Mary finally dropped, where in early 2022, unprompted and in a reply thread completely unrelated to me, this guy was the first person to ever call me a rapist. This was the first time I'd ever heard anything like this being said about me. And I'm very caught off guard because I have never even had sex before. They alluded to me being a supposed sex pest one more time, saying it to folks whose tweets I'd used in my videos. And it became apparent that this whole thing was an event that they'd been anticipating. The day the allegations dropped, they said, Kwite's only hope now is stop Asian hate. In my opinion, in a situation like this, that is very out of line. To me, it demonstrated a confidence and satisfaction in my suffering that had been brewing for a while. They were even in my editor's replies, instigating with someone who had nothing to do with these allegations other than having some association with me. He parroted that line where Kwite's taken a long time to respond, so he's looking suspicious, equating my silence to guilt. If I knee-jerk reacted to this, it would have done me no good. The escalation of this person's negative opinions of me over time, from when they were just an individual who my content wasn't for, to whenever they met Orion.
That's interesting. So, I remember a couple of those tweets, but you guys know who this individual is?
Not entirely.
I remember seeing that 10-day tweet.
I'm sure someone has it archived that could send it to you, but this is like the first time I had seen it was in Kwite's video.
Yeah, I mean, whoever this is, I mean, I would imagine they've gone through and started deleting DMs, so.
Well, I mean, of course they're going to, because they were like foretold of this event that was going to happen.
Well, because the thing is, I think somebody did assist Orion in this, and this person is this person is a big fan of Orion's, right? They're friends with Orion and they hate Kwite.
Yeah.
That is a terrible combination. And then you get into a situation where this individual is the first one to start calling Kwite a rapist. That means Orion had probably communicated with them ahead of time. So I would imagine that you are in a situation where if Orion had any assistance with this shit, this individual may have been a part of that.
That and Lord Bung.
Yeah, Lord Bung, of course.
That's the obvious one. However, there are probably more people like this that would be able to push it and be able to spread it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this took
and
off
as they
like,
spent more time around him is apparent.
I was going to say, this took off like a wildfire and just kept building. So I'm guessing there was a more than a concerted effort by multiple people that knew this beforehand and knew when it was going to drop.
Absolutely.
When this person started getting comfortable enough to say I'd done disgusting, incredibly serious things completely unsubstantiated, both directly to people who enjoyed my content and in a wider public setting, regardless if it was relevant to discussion, to how they've been taking petty joy in mocking people who are affected by these events because they're adjacent to them, now that they've gone fully public. All that is emblematic of the lengths Orion has been willing to go to try and hurt me over time, and how when one option failed, there has been seemingly no upper limit to how far they'll take it if it means that it will cause me harm in some way. Orion is not just saying I raped him. He's throwing every negative thing I could have possibly done to him at the wall to try and get anything to stick. They went for transphobia, sexual assault, saying slurs, gaslighting, emotional abuse, anger issues, threatening him. Take your pick of any of those. It doesn't matter because Orion didn't give evidence for any of them. Despite Orion saying how he doesn't want to dox me and how he won't share certain evidence because I want to stay anonymous. It rings hollow when they haven't presented much of their own evidence at all and multiple times have leaked my private info, most recently in such a huge and public way. Orion accused me of doing the worst thing you can do to somebody to him as another escalation. And he put my face out there against my will with the label of rapist attached to its reveal. I have been genuinely anxious to go outside, and the chances of this actually happening were relatively small, But what do you usually want to do to someone when you think they're a rapist? Not very positive things, I imagine. And on some level, Orion was okay with that possibility. He completely stole my agency and privacy away from me, and there are ways I will never recover from this. Having to go over these logs to make my case has been emotionally painful, and while people saying awful things about me on the internet is not new, it was happening now more than ever, and the types of things people would say was a lot crueler. It took him going this far, but after 6 years of trying to hurt me and my friendships, constant emotional abuse I've had to let lie because responding to it would have only hurt me more, my abuser has managed to make a permanent mark on me in a way he's only gotten to do in private before, but now gets to share with the public. He weaponized people's good conscience and their compassion for others who they believe suffered something awful to hurt me in one of the most widest reaching ways possible. Public shaming. And from what I've seen, Orion has been reveling in it. He used the Kwite fan art hashtag in his original tweet with the allegations, so anybody looking through the tag for art would definitely see what was being said. He locked his replies to mutuals only, so nobody he didn't know could say anything to directly contest him in his replies. He promoted the Drop Kwite and Stand With Orion hashtags for people to use as a rallying cry and to reach as many ears as possible. He shared a bit.ly link named after the Drop Kwite hashtag that led directly to his Twitlonger to make it as accessible as possible for new people to read. He was retweeting and liking any tweet in support of him that condemns me in the harshest terms possible. Like a lot of allegations towards a public figure, this was curious.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's all understandable because you would of course be promoting any content that's supporting you at that point. But I think he's right in pointing out that that Orion had used the fan art hashtag for the purpose of tainting it with their accusation, right? Because their accusation is going to blow up. So you're looking for fan art for people to get like 1,000 likes on their post. Orion's rape claim is going to be the very first thing that you see every single time.
And someone had to have thought about doing this and had to explain to Orion. I mean, especially for that Bit.ly account.
That's what I mean. Like, Orion doesn't seem to me the type of person who actually has the intelligence to think up this shit ahead of time. This had to be somebody else helping him.
Yeah. And like Kwite had said earlier about how they would escalate it in order to make him feel bad or make him like hurt. In that little edit I made, I was pointing out the DMs that were leaked of Orion saying that I didn't say he raped me with his dick. It was with his fingers. I'm like, why didn't you bring that out sooner? I mean, this is the kind of shit that he like Orion will do because they're fucking devious at this point.
Yeah, no, Orion is fucking just that is a garbage, disgusting human being.
Curated to reach as many people who are or would be viewers of me as possible. The idea behind that is usually to spread awareness of a dangerous individual, but Orion used those same mechanisms of virality. He showed my face to at least prove he knew me and to take away my anonymity, and he accused me of the worst thing he possibly could. They attempted to get as many people as they could to believe I'm a monster. And because all these people think I'm an irredeemable piece of shit with what Orion's shown, they have like an A-OK in their head to say like awful and hurtful shit about me because they think I deserve it. It was another way of Orion directing as much harm to me as he could manage. Orion pushed hard on the idea of believe victims first, no matter what, both through the tweets he chose to share and by holding a Twitter space where one of the folks speaking went on to champion how always supporting the victim, even if it turns out to be fake, is the right choice, all because it costs you as the bystander nothing.
It cost you absolutely nothing, and it cost you literally less than brain cells to believe a victim. And, you know, if allegations are proven false, then they're proven false, and if the allegations are right, then you
Wait, he used the clip from Sen's video?
Yeah, I told you this earlier. This is from Sen's YouTube short.
That's fucking hilarious.
back to the right horse. And
as someone who has not only just gone through the falsely accused side of this, but someone who has also made the same mistake of acting too quickly on allegations and hurting people I cared for because of it. This type of thinking is harmful and needs to stop. It is absolutely a good and noble policy to support victims when they speak. You should support their ability to speak and not ridicule them for speaking, but the saying is trust but verify. Orion framed himself as a victim in this situation. He did it to try and use the way the internet generally reacts to allegations in order to publicly systematically abuse me and hurt me on the widest scale he could imagine, continuing the same pattern of behavior he's shown towards me for years. I wouldn't say you were complicit in my abuse if you didn't stay neutral or even if you outright attacked me, but you actively progressed my abuser's goal of trying to hurt me in any way he could by taking Orion at face value. By trying to support an accuser as the victim with no questions asked, you helped an abuser further hurt their target. At the very least, I am more certain now than ever that cutting off Orion was absolutely the right thing for my mental health and my pursuit of happiness. I was escaping an incredibly toxic relationship and dynamic that was abusive. And ever since, Orion has continued to try and harm my reputation, my mental well-being, and is at least okay with the idea of me getting hurt physically, either at my own hands, considering my past, or someone else's, considering that they doxed me in what they accused me of. When ruining my friendships failed, when going to the public the first time failed, when trying to have me back in his life again failed, I thought finally he'd moved on, but I was wrong, and he went on to accuse me of the worst thing he possibly could. Through this whole situation, he continues the pattern of trying to ruin my friendships, my livelihood, my passion, and my reputation, among other things, and this is just another milestone of how far Orion is willing to go to hurt me. My abuser took advantage of the aggressively sympathetic and viral way the internet typically reacts to rape allegations to continue tormenting me. A lot of people have brought up the Slazo situation from back in 2019 during this whole thing, saying that it's ironic I was part of pushing those allegations and now I'm suffering my own, like it's karma coming around. And I mean, on some level, I can't really say they're wrong. I don't mean in the idea that I knew the allegations were always fake and I was trying to use them to end his career. I did not do that and I never would knowingly. I'm not certain where the idea of me being malicious in that situation first came from, but I'd been approached by someone I trusted and had other people I trusted vouching for them, and the evidence I'd seen at the time made me believe someone I knew had done something horrible. But with hindsight, it's a lot easier to see how careless and irresponsible I was being. It's because I saw Slazo as a friend that how I handled those allegations wasn't...
I want to say one thing. Kwite, if you ever do see this or someone could get this to him, the reason why that got put onto it as you being deliberately lying about the Slazo situation is because of the bandwagon effect of what Orion did with all of this. People remembered the Slazo situation and then put in the context that Orion was putting out there about you in their slander hit piece.
I mean, yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, I'm you know, he's taken accountability for the Slazo thing. And I'm sure they're going to be people, yeah, and I'm sure there are going to be some people who go like, "Oh no, he was being malicious back then. He totally was." I don't know that. I don't think you can necessarily prove it either, if we're being completely honest. I see what he's going through right now, and I say, hey, he got put through the fucking ringer by a psychopath.
I mean, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt for the whole Slazo situation.
I mean, I'm just saying that, you know, I think he's suffered enough. Orion is disgusting, is terrible. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna record a video, and I'm gonna compare this with the Ivory thing and with the Mewtwo King.
Before
situation.
You do that, Crow, do you want to go out with that little clip I edited?
Yeah. Oh, is it in the private chat or in the?
Yeah, it's.
Okay, hold on.
I think we need to end on a good note, a funny note.
I am with you.
He raped me with fingers.
Turn to Freddy got fingered.
Oh, God.
Ouch.
Oh, God.
Yellow Pages. Let your fingers do the
my guy.
Walking.
Are we still going to the baseball game? Get away from me, Crow. Stop it, Meg.
Fucking Family Guy.
That's from the same episode that I used before.
All right, everybody. Well, when do you think Orion will leave their response?
I don't think they're going to give a response unless if it's from through Lord Bung at this point.
Probably.
I mean, that's the strongest bet.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you here probably Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys here Wednesday or Thursday. One of those days. But expect a couple videos tomorrow. And later.
Later.